Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, you were just telling me that Canada has realized that math is not racist, and I disagree with Canada. Math's always been racist.
Yeah, so a lower court ruled. So what happened was all these third world teachers that the government was importing to help fix the issues don't
Mhm.
have basic math skills. So these teachers that were like trying to teach grade 9 math couldn't pass their own grade 9 math test.
Damn.
And then of course when they failed, they would say, "Look, you didn't meet the qualification bar. Come back in a month, try again." Well, according to the liberals and the wokies,
Mhm.
the minorities are so dumb and so poor and so unable to get a bus ticket to go write the test again. It caused so much inconvenience for them to write the test a second time that the lower courts determined that is racist. We cannot make them take the test twice. We just need to let them teach.
Yeah, I
And
agree,
that
and I
went
think
all
my
the way to the
PE tea
top.
okay, and
They finally said, no, math is not racist. These people have to be able to pass the test that they're going to grade their kids on.
then PE is also racist.
Right.
I don't think those teachers can pass the test.
No, none of the I don't know. Every PE teacher I ever had, except for my junior high PE teacher, was a complete disgrace. Oh, I gotta mute us. Hang on.
Also, I'm dying here because I had a pot needle right before it started, a poorly timed pot needle. Um, I had a home ec teacher who was also teaching racist home ec because she couldn't do it. And I know she couldn't do it because her hands was all arthritic. She would
Thalidomide?
point at somebody and we'd
She
be
was a
like, "Who is?"
thalidomide baby?
She got old as fuck. That was her problem. Like arthritis really got her.
Oh yeah. They don't I
But
don't even think they teach home ec in school anymore, do they?
not like they used to. I
Like
doubt, like, if I went to the so I had my first home ec class in middle school, and we had sewing machines and, like,
yeah,
our own little kitchens and shit.
yeah. I made some
I
boxers.
doubt it. I doubt that they still do that. Plus, at the same middle school, we did keyboarding on typewriters. Like, I learned home
Yes,
row
yeah.
on a whole ass typewriter, so things have changed.
But we had metal, so we had cooking, sewing in the first 2 semesters. Then we had woodworking, metal shop, and drafting.
Ooh, we never had drafting, but I took wood and metal. I took wood and metal in middle school and high school because I knew them by then. Oh,
Right.
no, I'm sorry, we didn't have metal in, middle school, but I took it because it paired with wood shop in high school.
Yeah.
My metal teacher did not like me. I don't because I think because I was the only girl, and I'd be like, "What? I can't lift this," or I wasn't afraid, I did it all, but I just felt like he never really liked me.
Yeah,
But
we
it's
made
fine.
what did we do in wood class? We made a birdhouse and something else. In metal shop, we made like not a
Toolbox.
trinket box, but like a I don't know, tackle box for fishing or something, just something to bend
Mhm.
metal and spot weld it. Tell
Did you
us
make
kids
a,
weren't fucking around with that spot welder at all.
what else did we make? We made a chisel. Did you guys make a chisel?
Oh no, no.
We also made
But
in
think
wood,
how
I
many
think.
kids in like the inner city would benefit from metals, woodworking, drafting, like stuff they don't have to think about. They can just enjoy and do as a job, right?
Mhm. I think you have to think about it.
Nah,
Like, they're
I don't know, man.
dangerous.
If you're passionate about something, it doesn't use brain power. You just
Mm,
absorb it. You know what I mean?
kinda.
Like
Sort of.
I couldn't do math. I sucked at math. Maybe I'm
'Cause
black.
it made exactly what I was gonna say.
And but I could kill law class, right? I was amazing at law class because I was so interested in it. It was easy to study. It didn't feel like studying. I
Mhm.
loved it.
I see what you're saying.
Whereas, something you don't enjoy, it's like, oh, I can't figure this out. Or oh, and by the way, fuck you, all my teachers in high school and junior high, when they said you got to learn your multiplication tables because you're never going to carry a calculator around with you every day. The fuck you don't.
That didn't age well.
Everyone's got a goddamn graphing
And you
calculator in their
still don't
pocket.
need it. You
And we
don't need
still
it.
don't need it. I got fingers.
Mhm.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
So, again, math is racist, and also what don't you need every day? Fucking PE. All that I
No,
don't need
no,
that.
that's the one that should be mandatory. That should be
Wrong.
fucking
You're a
that should be
bigot.
the last class
Wrong.
of the day where you do cardio, you have
Uh-uh.
to sweat off a pound of water or you don't pass.
How stupid that if you can't do a mile in something, I'm gonna fuck your GPA up. Like, whatever, dude, I'm not gonna run a mile ever still. Never gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna do other shit. You're gonna screw me out, screw my scholarships up because I have to take a 26
I don't
mile
even have them
minute
great at
mile.
gym class. Like, so I played every sport in the school. I was a jock. I was like top level jock. And I would get like, I know, weird. And I would get like an 80 in gym class. I'm like, how the fuck do you give me an 80? And this fat little girl who like would always have period cramps and we had to do anything physical or she'd break a sweat, right? So she never did anything. It was like, but my period. Oh, you just sit down like every fucking day for a month. She's got a period. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Got the same mark I got. I'm like, how the fuck are you grading this shit? And it's just,
they expect more out of you.
I'm like, what more do you want? I want, like, I was the top level starting on every sports team. Like,
it was probably your attitude.
Oh, 100%.
100%. There you go.
But you can't grade somebody on that. You can say he
yeah,
has a
you
shitty
can.
attitude. He's
Sportsmanship
perfect,
is
but he has a
huge part
shitty
of
attitude.
sport. Yeah, I think you should. Everyone should. I would have had an A+ in all my classes. I'd been like, she's dumb, but so nice. It's such a pleasure to have in class.
Exactly. Well,
those O's and
senior,
S's don't add shit to your report card.
So our senior teacher was a girl and she was so bad at her job and everyone hated her. Like everyone, the athletes hated her, the non-athletes hated her. So when a parent teacher would come, where she was supposed to sit there and open the door and talk to the parents, she called in sick every fucking year for an entire career. It was like the running joke. Like the principal was like, look, I'm going to write you up, suspend you. She's like, I can't help it if I'm sick. There's nothing you can do about it.
Did she have anxiety about meeting parents?
No, she was just a cunt and everybody would yell at her and she'd cry.
Yeah.
Because like my parents never cared because they never thought I was going past high school. But like if your parents cared about your marks and you were like a girl who needed a 70 to get into university with her PE and she got a 69, like they go and yell at the teacher like what's going on? My daughter plays on 3 teams but if she didn't like you, she didn't like you. That was the teacher. I don't know if you remember, that was a teacher that we shut our class down and listened to the OJ verdict.
Oh, cool.
So that was the only good thing she did.
I was gonna say, I think that's a good thing. First he said, in Canada, you got to be able to run in case you're ever chased by a bear or a wolf or something.
No, wrong. Never run from a bear, ever.
Who told you? See, no, I've heard I run from the bears.
No,
this is
then you're prey.
Advice.
Then because the bear doesn't know what a human is, right? He's looking
climb a tree.
What is that? Oh, it's running away. It must be edible. And then he's like, ha ha ha.
What? Only edible shit runs? So you got to play tree?
No, you scare the bear. You flip it on him.
No.
You go after the bear. You growl at him and you scream at him and you attack him. Yes, there's all kinds of videos on there about people like yelling.
Everything a bear ever ate wasn't fighting back.
Well,
is that what you're telling me?
No, if it runs, the bear's like, oh, it's got to be edible. It's made of meat.
Well, you're telling me to fight back. I'm never gonna fucking win. You're telling me.
You have 2 options.
I'm gonna
run. You can fight the bear, or you can play dead while he eats you slowly.
No, 3 options. You could run. Why do you want to just sit there?
Do you know how fast?
But you could try.
They can run 55 kilometers an hour, so that's 35 miles an hour.
Okay,
Usain Bolt can't outrun a bear. So unless you're a black
Are you sure?
On steroids.
He wasn't on steroids. That's
a
rumor. Okay. I also found out that I can't outrun what are those things that are gray and meaty and they kill a lot of people? Yeah, I can't outrun one of those.
Oh, speaking of, I just watched a video of lions trying to cross a hippo's pond and the hippo was not fucking happy. 3 full-grown male lions were scared to death of this hippo.
What? Because they weren't hungry or something.
No, because the hippo will fuck up a lion.
3 of them?
Yes. Lions are hippo is the most dangerous animal in
Then
Africa.
the hippo is the king of the jungle? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's what I mean. The lion is a bitch.
That's a rumor.
He's a poser.
That's a rumor. Is this a Mandela effect?
No,
I don't want to live in a world where the hippo is the king of the jungle.
I'm pretty sure that hippos kill more humans than any other animal on planet Earth.
I doubt it. I bet it's like bass fish or something.
It's probably like ticks from Lyme disease or something.
Okay. What we're actually going to do today is not this. Math is racist, PE is close second, and we do have calculators in our pockets, so go fuck yourself, old teachers. Now that that's out of our system, we're going to talk about Bryan Kohberger today.
Yes.
So I did
I haven't changed my opinion.
I keep changing. I changed it this morning. I got here. I don't know what to do. There are just so. That's why it's stupid that people have an opinion, because we don't have any facts. There's no trial yet. We have an arrest affidavit. We have some things that one of the dad has said. Right?
What
There's a
did
gag order. The dad has said things
how?
about his daughter, like how she was, how like the girls were positioned in their room and things like that.
Oh, I don't think anything the dad says should be taken as credible.
I am only going to agree with you because after reading the arrest affidavit and then looking through it again, um, like with the new facts that just I kind of looked at it the first time. I was like, holy shit, shocked with everybody. And then I looked at it Saturday, I think. And I read it again because now I know the people and their names and the house. I don't have to like focus on that. I can really think about the story. And I got
Yes.
to the end and I was like, okay, I didn't have a lot of more thoughts, which I thought was strange. And I just marinated in what they did tell us. And I realized that it's broken out into three kind of things. It is his cell phone was tracked, and then he was tracked on cameras, and then he was tracked on both cell phones and cameras. So I was like, "Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll look at where he was." And this was the first time I ever pulled up a map, and I pulled up a map and I'm like, "Where is this and where is that?" And if you look at the arrest affidavit, let me pull it up.
Like when Andrea Burkhart
Oops.
is talking, like she thinks it's really sketchy that he even got picked up on cell
Yeah.
pings.
I agree with her. I didn't see that, but I would agree. Based on information that's in here only, because they tell you all of the streets that they let me show you these maps, and this is why I never really cared about the maps before.
Do you think they
Um,
even had a reason to interrogate him or arrest him, or they were
this
just
is one of the
arrested him?
maps.
Do you think they just hoped that they could find something post arrest and then work it back?
Here's another map.
Because
I
I don't
do
understand
think
how they even got a probable cause warrant.
well, they are gonna show you all of their evidence that they put together, and they're like, "This fits, that fits, let's find this. If this is true, then let's find this to fit. If that's true, then this should fit." And then all said and done, they're like, "Look, the DNA matches. Holy shit, we did it." But a couple
The DNA
where
also
Andrea
has
talks
the
about the cell
attachments.
phone let me say my original thought was when with the dad, he quotes the arrest affidavit a lot. And he quotes them stalking, he was stalking them and all this stuff, but when you read where he was picked up, where his cell phone was pinging and the ping verifies that he was in the area of 1122 King Road, the house, when he got pulled over, they also tell you where that traffic stop occurred. So I zoomed into the location. It is between the two schools. Like on
Oh,
this, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so then that means when they say that anything pinged this home's location, it's literally the whole town. It could be
right.
fucking McDonald's. It's not their block. It's not like he was at their home, but the dad is repeating that. So yeah, obviously he has his thoughts and he's allowed to have his thoughts. But you're right. I do take it with a large grain of salt because there's a gag order.
I
He
think
doesn't
any
know
dad, right?
either.
I would
Of
think any
course.
dad would be
Yeah.
very compromised in his opinions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and just hope this is the guy because then he can be dead and
Because he
over
can,
with
yeah,
or
at least
whatever.
rest. Because if you find out that
Mhm.
Brian wasn't, like, if it comes out and it wasn't Brian, that dad's gonna fucking lose it. And he's either gonna have cognitive dissonance and say, no, Brian is the guy and go kill him, or not. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. I don't
oh,
know, it's so strange.
there's a question for you. If someone
What's that?
murdered your kids,
Mhm.
would you go to jail for murdering them, or would you just sit back and let the justice system do it?
Depends.
In Minecraft.
I think it all depends, like, I would say, "Oh, let the Justice Department do it," or, "Oh, I'd kill him back." I don't know, like
So he went through the court system and they found him not guilty. He's free to go and he lives 20 minutes from your house. Could you
mm-mm.
live?
Yep,
I don't think I could do it.
I would
I think I
find
would eat my
forgiveness.
mind and I would go crazy if I didn't.
I mean,
That's me.
let me just talk to chat for a moment. No, the answer, Yana, is I would let them live peacefully and forgive them and let God do the work. That is my live stream answer for the record. Good morning, Hands. I almost
Hey,
called you
good morning.
friends. Uh, A-dubs, how many times a day do you need milked? What? Sounds weird.
What are we into now?
I don't know. Okay, so these are the maps. This is why I never looked at him before because I was like,
Okay.
fuck. I don't even know. There's another one actually, a third one that says his. Let me get to it. I want you to see it.
I should go back and find
Mhm.
Andrews because I think she brings
This
up like the map where the cell phone towers are and the ranges that they cover and the circles because she was right into that.
you don't even need to because the fact is that the house Okay, let me go back up to the shitty map. Actually, let me find a real map. I should have done this first. I knew we were going to go here, but I didn't.
Oh, here's a question, a law question. So when does the FBI, who calls in the FBI? How do they get to a crime scene? Because they don't go to every murder. They don't go to like every mass shooting. Like, when do they get on the scene? Who decides that, and how is it decided?
Do you want me to
There'll be
Google
4
that?
people murdered in Chicago is one thing, and then 4 people in Idaho. Cops only go to the Idaho one because the girls are attractive. Like, how does that work?
Okay, I guess that's your thought. I guess we just put your bias right out there in the front so I could punch you in the face. Okay, I don't know if it's because they're more attractive. I think that gang violence isn't investigated by the FBI. So in Chicago, they probably categorize a lot of that as gang violence. And maybe
why is it gang violence? It's just, I just said 4 dead people. You just went racist. I can't believe you.
Wait, no, gangs aren't racialistic, are they? You don't know which gangs I'm even talking about. But
Plus,
I would assume
identical crimes.
Identical
FBI get
crimes?
involved in some. How do
A
they choose?
4-person murder on a campus in Chicago is gonna get an FBI investigation too. I don't think
3 people were dead at Kansas City Chiefs' backyard. The FBI didn't investigate that.
3 people went dead in the Kansas City Chiefs' backyard. Who?
3 friends, yeah, watching the football game, all died frozen to death or something in the backyard.
Or something is a stupid thing to say. If they fucking froze to death, there's nothing you have to investigate. The FBI doesn't need to come in on that.
Just
Federal Bureau of Investigation. If they don't need to investigate, then they're not. They're like, yep, they're right, guys. Frozen. They're frozen. I'm confused. That's not an equivalent death. Stabbed to death in their homes, not related.
How does the FBI pick a crime? Like, who puts them on it?
Do you know the answer to this, or can I
know? That's why I'm so curious.
Okay, then I'll Google it.
Who like someone have to call the FBI? Because if you remember watching all the old TV shows in the 80s, anytime the FBI showed up to a crime, all the locals were fucking pissed. All the local cops like, fuck the FBI. You know, they hated the FBI. Like X-Files. Every time someone from the X-Files showed up to a crime, they're like, oh, the goddamn feds are here. We got to get rid of the feds. So how do they pick which crimes to show up to?
No. They didn't want to get rid of the feds. They were just egomaniacs who didn't want the feds to take over because the feds were better at it than them, and they were going to have some type of jurisdiction. Did you even watch these shows?
No, they
hated them because they were going to take over. That's ego.
That's what I mean. Who decides that they get to take over?
The level of the crime, I would assume. If it has to reach. It says, okay, I don't fucking know honestly, but it says the FBI investigated programs, counterterrorism, counterintelligence, cyber, public corruption, civil rights, transnational organized crime, white collar crime, violent crime. Is that everything?
Back up too.
Don't yell at me.
Transnational organized crime.
That's not what you think it is.
No. Whoa. Remember I brought up sex trafficking from the cartels in Mexico.
Oh, it's not what I think it is then. What?
Remember I thought it was the cartels in Mexico.
Okay, so you're at damn, ask the question you want to know. Why did the FBI get involved in this case?
Yes.
Okay, in this case, I would assume because it's 4 murders and the city can't figure it out, so it's elevated to like maybe it's.
They didn't even have a chance to figure it out though.
Okay, when does local FBI get? Because every state has their own FBI, so it's not. It's, you know, I have no idea. I would assume just because it's such a big crime and it's going to involve a lot of resources, the FBI is like us too, I guess. Also, let me think about this. It was Washington and Idaho because it crossed a state line. That might make it some kind of federal shit.
That is possible.
There we go. I win.
What state line though?
Washington, Idaho. Pullman is in Washington and the girls are in Idaho.
So the crime only happened in Idaho.
Yeah, but he lived in Washington. He had to cross back. And they caught him in Washington. They fucking caught him in Pennsylvania, I guess, actually.
I think if he did a murder in 2 different places, in 2 different states, yes. But if it's everything is in one state and he's from somewhere else, I think it should all be under that state.
Can you see this? Okay, yes. Here's the map. Here's Pullman, which is where he lived. There's Washington State University campus here. Over here, this is the state line.
his hometown cops would investigate a murder in Moscow. It'd be the Moscow police.
Yeah, but you asked why the FBI got involved, and I'm trying to figure it out.
I think the
Because
FBI
maybe
got involved to cover up the crimes. I think that's the only time the FBI gets involved, is to cover up the crimes. Just like
why would they want to cover this up?
because it was probably somebody they don't want exposed, or wait. So back to my cartel conspiracy theory. So the cartel, I think, was
Stupidest theory there is.
I was thinking well, no. Why is the FBI going into the house so many times? Why do they go back there at night and try to hide their
I
faces?
stands for investigation.
What are they investigating after the fact? Months later or weeks later, whatever that was, when they went back at night.
You don't know what you don't know, and I don't know what they did know, so I can't tell you that. But I can tell you that the house doesn't stand anymore. It was probably scheduled for demolition at this time, so they were like, "We need to keep investigating."
Why?
I don't know why they mowed it down.
They don't tear down every building that there's a murder in.
They gave it to the school, and the school tore it down because they didn't want it to be some kind of weird memorial.
So you don't see any
Monument.
connection with the entire economy of that town being based around that school. And if students stop going to that school because they never found the murderer, you don't think there's any connection to the university trying to get this washed under the bridge quickly?
No, I do. And I think the cops in this town are trash, which is unfortunate that their reputation is not good based on just some videos that I've seen. Obviously, with the bias, these people were showing them to be like, look how these cops behave. And then, but yeah, they're fucked. I do think that they are looking for crime. Probably like my little town where it's like, how come you guys have new cars and shit? There's not even crime. So they go around looking for it and fucking with people and getting their tickets.
Crime.
And
like the pipe bomb, the J6 pipe bomb that the FBI planted.
Good morning. Is this the plot to
Sicario? Sicario, yeah. It was an old 80s. Was it Al Pacino? Was that Al Pacino? I don't know for sure.
No, that's
no, you know
Serpico.
who I mean. Serpico, yeah, that was it.
Serpico is dope, but he a tattletale, so you got to be careful. But he was the good kind of tattletale, so that's the sad part about Serpico. But you're right, Al Pacino, I think, played him. Okay, so let me show you. I did a couple of things when I was doing the map.
So I'm super conspiracy, right? And you're definitely not. What makes you not want to accept conspiracies versus me accepts every conspiracy and works my way back to sanity?
I love conspiracies, but I like to check them every step of the way because I don't mind being wrong. I don't like looking stupid. You don't have a problem with that part, so you just say all the shit and then investigate as you go. So
right.
It's just the
I
way
accept
that we
it
do.
as real, and then I work my way
conspiracies,
back.
and I think most things I don't really believe in our government and in the way that I do believe that most of these institutions are corrupt. I think from a family of police, I do think most cops are bastards. I as a conservative Republican, I'm center. I'm in the center of a lot of things because of that.
And I agree. I don't think cops join the police force because they're bastards. I think a lot of them get on the force to do good at the beginning. And then once they're rolling around in the mud with the other pigs, they all become pigs.
Yeah.
Because I know two female cops, former cops here in Canada, like I was friends with, quit the force over a lot of bullshit that they're like, they just don't want to clean nothing. Like, yeah, they pretty much left they left one girl out to dry. So when she would call for backup, they'd be like, yeah, it's on the way. And then it just wouldn't come, like hoping she would just, get hurt or quit or something, because she kept calling out the guys who were too bad or, doing things they shouldn't be doing. She's like, hey, you can't do that. I'm like, you better get with the program. Anyway, they ran her off the police department.
Big shock.
Right.
But
so
also, I mean, I don't know.
That's why I think it should go back. Well, I don't know about America, but Canada, we only basically have like the RCMP, and then like some big cities will have their own costs. But we used to, every small town had their own force with like a sheriff and 2 or 3 guys for all the small towns. And then they were all held accountable, because if Billy was being a real dick and fucking over people, the town would vote Billy the fuck out real quick.
Yeah.
But police departments got so large and so gargantuan that there's no There's no civil oversight anymore.
You're probably right, but I kind of forgot what we're talking about. I don't remember why we're there. Oh yeah, I think you were asking why I'm less conspiratorial than you. But I just like to play the devil's advocate. So whatever you're saying, I'm just
Definitely.
trying to push it. A lot of the stuff I'm like,
No, it's
that is
good. I
crazy.
like
I
it 'cause
think the cartel thing is so fucking out there. Every time you show one of these stupid videos, I want to yank all my hair out. I'm like, I hate this. This is so stupid. There's no basis for some of the shit that they say. It's just ignoramus bullshit.
then what's my brain grabbing onto? So,
Your feelings. You want to believe it. And so you're like, oh my God, I
but
never
what?
knew
But
that.
why a
Yeah.
cartel? Like I don't like the super crazy. I like want some truth and I want it to be digestible. So why about the cartel am I grabbing onto it so hard?
They found some facts that fit for you.
Right.
Probably. Like the
They
fact, I don't
found zero
know,
facts for Bryan.
0.
Zero.
So none of the facts that why do you say 0 facts when there's a car, a DNA, single source touch DNA,
Touch DNA, right?
any of
Which
that?
means, like, remember we
Single
talked about
source.
the knife. If I sold you my knife, my DNA's on it, and you go murder somebody.
You have to decide that now this knife is somehow, you have to add so many other things into your story right now to make that knife somebody else's from a pawn shop. Just say his DNA was found at the crime scene under a dead body. True or false?
I
You
can't
hate to
say
say
either
it because
because you can't prove that he put it
from
there.
what you know right
how do you
now,
prove
from
it's
what you know in
Bryan's?
this moment, you know
How do
that
we
more
know?
than
Wait,
you know that
time
Bryan
out.
was a
How do you know
heroin
it's
addict,
Bryan's
or that
knife sheath?
we just know it's his DNA.
How?
It was tested
How?
at a lab.
The IgG report that the court's refusing to produce?
There's no trial yet, right? So
Right. But that's what
just,
Bryan's
your
defense
bias
lawyer's
is
been
not
asking for.
letting you
We want
say that
this
there was
IgG
DNA
data.
there. So, but you won't admit that it's even there. So what is there to test in your hypothesis? Nothing, this magical nothing? You have to admit there's something there. What is there?
How did they
DNA
get
that
it?
at the end, even they tested
How did
for
they
it.
match it to Bryan for it to get there? That's what I'm saying. If they're not giving out how they came to their
Well, they
they're not showing their
said
work.
that they got the trash and the DNA from the trash sent to a lab, and that the lab matched as a father of whoever's DNA that they found.
So why wouldn't they give that to the defense?
The defense says they have given it to them. There are 50 terabytes. Maybe they haven't gotten to it yet. According to the defense, they can't get through all this evidence for over a year from today. So how did we know she doesn't have it?
How are there 50 terabytes when it should
A
just
great
be this is the
question.
test, it shouldn't be 50 terabytes to show how you got there.
A relevant question, but yeah, why are there so many? It doesn't matter in this
It was the
particular
same thing they did to
instance.
Trump. They gave him fucking 10 million terabytes and 17 years worth
Either
of
way,
documents to fish
either
through,
way,
right? They're
we
trying
know
to drown him
more about
instead of just
Bryan being
winning the
related
case.
to this crime scene than any cartel whatsoever.
I don't think so.
What is your evidence about the cartel? Tell me one of your facts that makes sense.
That the cartel was using that house and those kids to sell the drugs to the entire university. And that somebody was going to rat them out or did rat them out or they fronted a lot of money.
That's your story. Now,
Right.
which fact? Where's a fact for that?
I have the same facts that Bryan did it.
You have their DNA on these drugs and under some cartel person's bedroom?
No, you have the FBI showing up and investigating an international crime of human
International?
trafficking
Wait,
and
who told
drugs.
you that? Who told you that? You made that up. You chose one thing they investigate and decided that's what it is.
Yes.
You're stupid. There's not enough weed for this. Okay, but seriously, I want to show you what's in
Yes.
the affidavit, because I find it interesting and I don't know if it means anything. Actually, it probably doesn't mean anything
Does it
because we're
hold?
not at
Do you think
trial
it
yet.
holds any weight that not just me thinks the cartel is an angle?
Someone told you that.
No, that's what I
No.
mean. Do you think it holds any weight that say another 50 people think of what I think?
I think sheep are sheep are sheep, and cognitive bias. I don't know what it's called, but I'm not surprised. A lot more than one person has been wrong at the same time about the same thing.
Oh, definitely.
So maybe it's a great guess. Maybe that's what they need to be looking at, but if you're
And could
just looking at
Bryan
what
use
we, the
this?
people, have, we don't have all of this other shit. It's just people making good guesses because keep looking, right? If it's not Bryan, then keep looking. And so that's good, because if it's not Bryan, that's great. I'm glad these are people still looking in other directions. But it sounds stupid.
And
The
do you think
FBI
they
was
can
there
convict
because there
him
was
just
no.
on that DNA being there? That's it. Like, all we know is that that is all they have. Is that enough to sentence someone for murder?
No.
Do you think it's even
No.
enough to arrest somebody though?
It sounds like probable cause to me. If I'm on the jury, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I might want to pick that motherfucker up. DNA after the OJ shits, I'm like, we must not acquit. That's my new
On the
logo
flip side,
or
I
whatever.
really don't like that Bryan is willing to sit in jail. Like, he waived his speedy trial. Like, no, motherfucker,
Hey,
I want.
every day he probably did the math on how much the state's going to pay this fool when he's exonerated. Because now he's looking at least another year on his request.
Wait, can you? I don't think you can sue for wrongful arrest or wrongful jail if it was
If you didn't
all
do a
done
speedy
above
trial.
board.
Unless you can prove that they're bullshit starting at the affidavit, which is what I'm about to show you.
Ooh,
I don't know,
how's
but
that for a
in
segue?
chat, in chat, my attorney is in chat, and she said the prosecution sent over all the evidence. The FBI was there because there were other stabbings. They were brought in to help. No,
Other
a grand
stabbings?
jury still saw all the evidence and said there was other stabbings
I
in the
don't trust
area.
a grand jury as far as you could fucking throw it. I think they're all dirty.
They're just people.
But I'm Canadian.
They're just
No, because
people. You know that, right?
the people, yeah, but it's not the grand jury, the people. It's the prosecutor who's giving them the information and telling them how they need to.
Oh.
Yeah, not the actual voters.
Well, that sounds like Bryan's argument here. He sounds like, and I don't know enough, you might and chat might, but that he's arguing that the way that this case was presented to the grand jury was inadequate or something to that effect.
Yes.
And he's trying to get something thrown out. I don't know what.
The whole case, I think.
Yeah, I think the whole case. I didn't want to say that
It's
because
the
it sounds
fruit
like
of
a
the
lot.
poisonous tree, right? If you don't have this, everything you got me on from there was from that one thing that you.
No, we did Fruit of the Poisonous Tree. Go back to our channel, scroll down through the videos. We've done a video on that. This how they got the evidence was not illegal. There was no fruit of the poisonous tree involved in, at least the DNA. That's what we looked at.
How they got Bryan at all anywhere? They just said a white Elantra with no license plate number, right?
The part of the license plate that they were looking for was the fact that it wasn't on the front of the vehicle, because everyone in Idaho and Washington needed a front plate. This car didn't have one, so it made it different. In Pennsylvania, you don't need one, and he didn't have one yet. So that is what made it unique.
Wasn't there like 26,000 white Honda Elantras in like a 100-kilometer radius or something?
That's a fucking lot. I don't know. How long is a kilometer again?
Half a mile.
No, there's not even that many people in that radius. The town that the girls were in had like 24,000 people. You think everyone had an Elantra?
Yes, because they're cheap fucking throwaway cars and they're university students, of course.
The one of these chicks that died had a Land Rover or a Range. She had a Range Rover.
Yeah.
So
how do
no,
they,
she
I
wasn't
still
poor.
don't understand how they just got Bryan. Out
Well,
of all the
let me
white,
show you.
what from the white Elantra led them to Bryan?
First of all, let me share this. Back to this. Hold on. Hands, can I move in and sleep on your couch? Yeah, me too. Wait, does she have food? Every time someone's cooking.
Will you bring it to her?
I'll show up. Just give me your address if there's food. I know that Naughty One in chat is a great cook. If Beautifully is still here, she's a wonderful cook. I will show up, y'all. We'll do a potluck and I'll bring the pot. Okay, here's the map. This is where he was from, Pullman on the left. This Moscow is obviously where the girls were. This distance on Highway 270 or Highway 270, Interstate, obviously 270, is about a 10-minute drive.
Okay, so nothing really. So yeah, it's almost.
No, they say that the people who these are just interchangeable towns, really.
Yeah.
There are more things to do in Moscow. There are more restaurants and things, so a lot of people show up here. So the fact that he was here 12 times doesn't mean a shitload of anything. Right. Really, it doesn't. The fact that he never went back after the
like
so he
San
went
Francisco
back
to
the
Oakland,
next
right?
day and then never again, which I do find also interesting. But it's like, no, it's way closer than that. It's like
Oh, I didn't
from
know
my
that.
house in Phoenix to the Walmart. It's close. It's 10 minutes. Like, that's not
Short.
long at all.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's another way. Let me just take you on a little journey. This road leading down, can you see my mouse?
Yep. Yep. You're perfect.
Okay. This road leading down is called 95. I don't know what these mean. This must mean highway. I wish I knew what that meant. This one is an oval, so I think that's an interstate because it's obviously, but
Yeah.
this
The
one is 95.
I-95, I think's like internet, like top to
This little
bottom, isn't it? Goes
yeah,
through
I-90
Michigan right to.
I-95 is here on the left. 95 is on the right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my
So these are
mistake.
two different roads. One is they're just different states. This little city here is called Blaine. See that? This
Yep.
area, Blaine. This one down here is Genesee. I think that's how you say it. It's just growing on me. This name is really growing on me. I love
Genesee,
the way it's
Italian, maybe. Genesee,
Genesee. There's only one E in the middle there. There would be two if it was Genesee or Genese. But I think it's
Chinese.
Genesee. Like Genesis, but Genesee. I love this name and I want to get a cat and call it that. Genesee. I love it. Down here, right over here is called Uniontown. In my damn video, I called it Onion Town, and I'm like, shit, I don't know what I can do about that because I didn't hear it until I was editing later. I'm like, oh, I've said so much wrong shit. I'm like, idiot, and the word is right there. I kept saying it says
You got a long way to catch up to my idiocy.
it says cell phone towers, and I kept saying cell tower. I don't know what I kept every single time it said the thing in the when I listened to it back, I said it wrong. I'm like,
You're probably
it's
sober.
right there. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Okay, so this is Uniontown. The reason I'm telling you this is because these words are going to come up when we look at the affidavit. Johnson, there's this little road here, or I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, but we'll call it Leon. And I think this is the road they think that he took because if you look at their map, let me find it again. If you look at their map here, which is the best fucking visual in the history of visuals, it doesn't go down to a point. Let me back this up a little bit.
Are the breaks in the yellow line dead zones for cell phones? Is that what that?
That's a good question. I couldn't tell if they were doing that on purpose or an accident. There's 1, 2, 3 of them.
Because where I live, there's no cell phone service, but if you like walk to the top of the hill down the road a little bit, you can get it at the top of the hill.
Yeah, so pause. Oh, here's another break here. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or that could be when it's transferring the ping from one cell tower to another.
Maybe. Oh, there could be towers here, right? Yeah,
maybe that's just where it switches from one to the other. It takes a half a second, which would be at 100 kilometers an hour in the highway or the road. Might be that distance.
Either way, it kind of looks like this map kind of cuts across to Uniontown and then up. And if you look at the real map, that's what Leon does. It kind of cuts across here. It doesn't come down to this point. You don't see this point.
Yes,
but
yes.
I tried as I might, and I tried to make these maps look the same. I zoomed in on all the stupid little shits down here. I turned mine into a satellite map. I couldn't match it up. And this one, it's hard to see. At the bottom here, some of these are pretty, like you can tell some of these properties.
It doesn't even look like it's going on a road.
This says Idaho. Yeah, well, he's going to lose cell phone service for 2 hours while he's here, and that's probably exactly why.
Now, I don't know. If you turn your cell phone off, do you lose the ping, or is it still working? When...
Yeah, off, airplane mode, or dead, it'll lose the ping. Okay, so this road, if you went from Pullman and down this way to Uniontown over to Genesee, up to Moscow, which I clocked, I put them all in here. You can add, add locations. Yep, it's a 59-minute drive. So,
which isn't,
I didn't mean to close
isn't terribly long.
No, not at all. It takes about an hour. It's about 45 miles. But it's different than this 10 minutes here.
All right, random question. Do you think Bryan is a super genius or a complete idiot? Because he can't be both.
I think he's just intelligent. Hasn't proved super genius whatsoever.
So an intelligent person uses his own vehicle?
Well, you're going to borrow someone's car, now you've brought somebody into your mischief.
No, you steal a car. then
Get
you
the
leave
fuck
it.
out of here. You do another crime. You're an idiot. That's why you shouldn't do crimes. Hold on a second.
You're worried about car theft attached to your double, quadruple murders. I'll take the car theft. But if it was me, I would steal a car, use that as my murder car, and then light it on fire and go home. And then I'd have all the evidence disappear. Bryan didn't do that. Bryan kept his own car. I still don't understand how he murdered 4 people and had no blood in his own car either. Especially like, yeah, no, fighting somebody with a knife, they're not going to die quick. They're going to get
That's
a major adrenaline rush. It's going to be messy. There's going to be shit everywhere.
fighting 4 people with a knife and 2 of them fought back. Also, you're right, because she didn't say when there's an eyewitness who doesn't say he's like covered in plastic bags or anything like that. So where the
Right.
hell is the blood from the car? If you
Yeah.
listen,
All she saw was bushy eyebrows, which I call suspect huge.
well, she saw 5'10", skinny, not very athletic, bushy eyebrows, black clad, black mask covering face and nose. So she saw what she saw.
I
You
don't
want to
think she
trip out
saw.
on
I
something
think
with
she's
me?
lying. Honestly, I honestly think she's lying. I don't think you can judge. Where was she when she said she saw him?
I'm
Wasn't
gonna
she
show
laying
you.
down in bed
No,
or
dude.
something? Where was
No,
she?
in her room, but her room, she opened the door 3 times that night. Do you not remember this affidavit whatsoever?
No, not at all.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Let
But and
me
also murdering somebody with a knife, there's going to be squealing. I don't know if you know what squealing sounds like, but it's a
do.
it's a whole different sound than hurt my toe. It's like, you know, when your kids have one of those blood curdling screams, you know something's like he didn't just hurt himself. Screams. Well,
Exactly
you
what I was
know, if you're
thinking.
getting stabbed, you're going to squeal like that.
And
And if
there's
you're
2 in
watching
each
somebody get stabbed
room.
next to you, you're going to
Yes,
squeal like that. Like,
right? So, like, that's
that's
what I
where
feel. There
this
it had to
conspiracy
be
starts rolling.
loud. It had to yeah, that the but I read a couple stories this weekend. I've been in the comments reading other stories from some of these Brian videos, and so they're anecdotal, sure, but there's fight and flight and freeze, and freeze is for real. It's a real thing. The stories that I read, you don't want to believe it?
I do believe there are things are, but I don't think people freeze while a knife is coming down at you.
Of course they
You
do.
like the same as breathing, like you do it without thinking.
It's fight, flight, or freeze. It's like that is one option, and a lot of people who choose it, they literally go into a shocked phase and they're not thinking quick. They're just their brain, it's like disassociating. They literally disassociate in the moment. They're not here,
And
I'm not here,
people
you don't see me type shit.
and you have to realize being stabbed is not like the movies where they stab a guy and he drops to the ground and that's it, he's dead. It takes a long time to bleed out. They like
Even if it doesn't, even if it takes 2 or something minutes, like the other person is there screaming, you
right.
think.
Or you're screaming, I'm fucking dying. Hell, calm on.
Yes.
Like someone's screaming something for everyone to be
That's
like,
why so I think that's what happened. I think that some there that's so he's upstairs, one of them screams, something happens, the thuds from the dog, whatever it is, wakes dude up who's sleeping on the 2nd floor. Dude wakes up. Okay, let's get into this house. Can you
wasn't this
see
dude like a
this?
really
You
physically
can.
fit guy?
He
Like,
was, yeah, I would say you look
and
like maybe a
Bryan
rower or
does
something.
not look like he could overpower anything,
Correct.
which makes
Plus college kids
even
are super
more
duper dumb.
questionable.
Okay, I meant to say, let me finish what I was saying about the shock. There are
Sorry.
these girls who told their stories. No, don't be. Told their stories about when they were in a car accident. She said she got in a car accident. Her car caught on fire, and she sat in her car. She wasn't trapped in her car. Somebody had to pull her out, and she's like, I don't like. She saw it burning. She knew it was burning. She wasn't trapped. She was shocked. She was just in shock. She's like, it was like an out of body experience. She was just stuck there. And she's like,
Yes.
"I know it seems weird." All of the stories were like, "I know it seems weird, but" there's one girl said she was in her home, she was 18 years old, in her own place. She turned around and there's somebody with a ski mask in her apartment. She said, she said she froze. She didn't know what to do. She froze. She said, luckily, he didn't expect to see her either, and he ran. But first person she calls is her mom,
But do you
not
think
the
if that
cop.
girl was sitting in the car that was on fire, once her pant leg caught fire and she started to hurt, she would jump and move? Like, I don't, that's what I mean. Once you're in
This
pain,
girl
once you,
didn't get hurt. This girl never got hurt, though, the one that went in shock phase here.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Once you start feeling pain, I think your instincts just kick in.
Yeah, but this girl, Dylan, was in her room and she stayed in shock phase for another 8 hours before she called the cops.
Yeah, see, I don't believe that.
I think she fell asleep. She might have been drunk and doesn't really understand,
I
like, her
could see
times could
passed
be
out drunk,
off.
but
She wasn't
not.
passed out. She wakes up 3 times that she wakes up at 4:00 thinking that the dog. Okay, I wanna show you this house. Okay, she wakes up,
That
she
was my
thinks the
other
dog.
conspiracy was the timing, not calling anyone.
We're
Like
going
8
into this
hours,
house, y'all.
like
This is a fascinating tour of this house. So right when you walk in, that's the front door here. Right when you walk in, do I have another picture? I don't. You
and
go
there's
up
like,
the
what
stairs
is
to
it?
the second floor. So
8
this is the
pints
house
or
before
2 gallons of
they all
blood
go
in the
home
human
at 2
body?
AM. Is this lagging me? Or is that just you that's
A
lagging?
little
Did you guys
bit,
hear
but
Nova just fine? I'd be a dead
you
brain
went
dead. Call
quiet
me
for a
because
quarter
I
of a
wouldn't be
second,
able.
but you're good now.
Okay, then let me go upstairs then, because I really want you guys to see this house and how it's laid out.
And the other part,
Where do you
going into
start?
someone else's house and not knowing the layout, not knowing how many people are even in the house is very sus. And why stop at 4 when there's more people in the house? Like, why not just clean house? The stopping
No,
at
still
4 and
down.
leaving people
Okay,
alive was
upstairs.
really questionable
Okay,
for me
so
too.
we're gonna go to the second floor right now. Do you see the stairwell?
Yes.
Is it showing on your screen?
Yep, I see it.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, I
That
can.
is to go to the first story. The girl that was down there is called Bethany. You don't hear a lot about her. Nothing happened. He doesn't go down here, according to what we know. And the house is gone. We will never know. This is their living room. This is the second floor. And this whole thing is the second floor. This room here, bedroom 2, this is where they kill this. He walks out of this room, around this hallway. There's a step here, which I find fucking fascinating that he doesn't fall down in the dark in a house he supposedly doesn't know.
Oh,
And he walks
wait.
this way. We'll keep going.
All those hardwood floors
This
or
is Dylan's
slippery
door right here
floors,
to the left.
blood is super slippery. So he's gonna have blood dripping on the floor and he's not slipping and sliding around in that while he's fighting too. Because I don't know if you know, like people when they're stabbing,
This
once
is
you get
Dylan's
blood on the
door.
handle
This is the
becomes
door.
super slippery.
No. There's no. There's no blood on the only DNA they find, and there's no blood on the door handles. There's one latent shoe print that they don't find until the second canvas of the house. And it's right here
See,
on the
that's
floor. You can
wild. There should
see
be
it.
bloody footprints
Except
up
for
and
I
down the
need to
stairs
turn better. See
everywhere.
it here? All of these are marked in this interactive.
This is don't you
Dylan's
think there should be
door. Okay,
footprints everywhere?
so dude comes around this corner, way over here, through the living room, down this step, and out the kitchen, right there. No, he doesn't have blood on him.
How do you
No,
stab somebody and not get blood on
and
you?
so supposedly this is what it looks like. Is this lagging me too hard? Because it seems kind of fun.
It's lagging, but not crazy.
Let's go up the stairs, and I'll show you the other house before let me leave. I wanted to show you upstairs real quick, and then I'll leave this website so it doesn't lag out. But upstairs is where obviously we know it started upstairs because Dylan watches the dude leave her house, and through the kitchen door. Why isn't this changing? And the girls upstairs are already dead, so we know he had to be up
I'm
here.
leaning towards
This
Dylan being the killer now.
is the room right here that the girls are landing here, and another room. This is the girls' room with the balcony. They're not in that room. So when you look at the house from the back, there are 2 rooms, 2 windows, window here, and another window. Wait a minute, how does that work?
And the walls
I
are
don't know how
so there's
exactly
no
works,
like blood
but
spatter on the
this is the
walls
room
from
that
like
they're
the
in. So
stabbing
when
motions. Like wouldn't that fling blood everywhere? Like I've watched
there
Dexter a few
had to have
times.
been their blood on the walls. apparently it's not on them. This is supposedly where the knife sheath was found, which doesn't make sense. What does that say? So I know the one girl was here against the wall. The mom says she's in the corner, slumped down, like sitting up, but slumped over. The other girl's laying flat on her back, the knife sheath under her right arm when viewed from the door. So I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure
why
if
it
this
says
is
it's
true or
here. It
not, but
seems
didn't
like
the
it would be
first
up here
cop
somewhere.
not see the knife sheath and a second one
But
later, hours later, find it? But someone said they could see it looking in the room. I could be crossing these
the
thoughts up
only
too.
the only thing out there is the yeah, the only thing out there is this affidavit. Okay, I got to close that website down. So you guys got to see it. You see how crazy it is that he like went into the upstairs rooms, down past Dylan's room, around a corner into someone else's room, unless when he was doing whatever upstairs, it woke them up, like we're saying, like it was very loud and someone was screaming. And that's what Dylan says in this. She says she heard crying, someone saying someone's here. She heard the dog, like someone's playing with it, all that shit. She says she hears. She opens the door 3 times because of it. The third time is when she sees the dude. But if there's a guy there and then his girlfriend, he might be like, what the fuck?
Right.
And goes out of his room. So when Bryan comes downstairs, he might see him. And but why? I don't know why it would matter. Maybe they had
Why
words.
leave somebody alive though? That baffles me too.
2
If you're
people
trying to
were
do
left
this,
alive. The girl downstairs was left alive, and this girl in the room that he passed was left alive. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, like why is he finding that certain bedroom and just there's so many questions that don't make sense.
Cool places can probably have murders too. Damn, I thought Idaho was cool. Yeah, no. Idaho not cool. Don't go to Idaho. Stay out of Idaho. But let's read this because that part I wanted just to see the house. I find it crazy that like that was what it was. There's no blood on him allegedly. He's in his car the next day he gets talked to by police.
Right.
Like he
And
doesn't
there was no signs of cleaning in the car.
he
Anything. No
doesn't have
bleach.
cuts on his hands. Like why
That's shocking.
supposedly yes, exactly. There are certain things that are supposedly like hard to have not happened.
Like people
And
who
like
don't know blood, like so I do my animals and I get blood all over me. Once you get blood on the handle of your
what?
knife, even with
Don't
good
say it
gloves,
like that.
no, not furry like, not furry like. When I skin I was trying to like not be graphic, but when I
Please.
process my animals, when you get blood on the handle, that handle becomes so slippery. It's crazy to the point where you rinse it off because you can't hold it. There's blood's like there's oils in it. It's so slippery.
Yeah, and we don't know yet. Again, I keep saying this. There's no trial. We don't know. We know what kind of got said initially, and then there's a gag and a seal. We don't know anything else. There's no trial. So it sounds like it was a pretty gruesome scene. I'm pretty sure the coroner or the coroner, the lady who processed the scene, said it was one of the most disturbing things she'd seen. So like
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
a
Like
lot of fucking
bodies
blood.
hold so
Why?
much liquid in them. There'd be like pools of it. Like because they would if they were dead, they just sit there and bleed out, right? So the blood would
No.
literally
Would they? Is medic in the house? Is there a medic in the house? Slip and slide super knife.
medic.
Yeah, we need a medic. I have a question, but I don't think so. Once your heart stops beating, it stops pumping it out of your body. So there'd be
No, no,
that's
no,
why
no, because
shut up.
you
That's why
kill a
it's
deer, you
called,
string them up and leave them there. You killed them fucking hours ago, but you string them up and let the blood drain
yeah,
out of
the
them.
blood will settle to the lowest part. So you string them up so that the blood will drain. But if you're laying on the ground, the blood pools where you died. It's called livor mortis, and that's how they know where and how you
But if you're
were when you
stabbed in the
died, I'm pretty
chest
sure.
and you
Heh, we have a
are
medic.
found laying face down, wouldn't it just all drain out of you?
No,
It's not going
I
to
don't know.
seal back up. Your blood
Yeah,
shouldn't clot. And
that okay, so if you're stabbed and then you're on the ground, will all your blood seep out of you, Ms. Medic?
depending on if your holes up, if your holes up or down.
This is for science.
Oh, Arner, yeah, we have a medic here. Medic in the house.
Yeah, she's gonna answer. She knows. She's on the case.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the bodies would just continue to leak out if gravity will pull it.
But gravity and laying on the ground aren't the same thing, right? Gravity is when you string your deer up.
Well, no, like if you're stabbed in the chest and I'm laying face down, then gravity would let it leak out, right?
A little bit from around that area, but, like, the blood from your feet is gonna go down, like, gravity's gonna pull that down, not in through your veins and out through that hole somehow.
I think
Your body's not just full of blood, you got vessels and
yes,
shit
your
that
body
flow.
is like 90. Yes, your
But
body's
it's not
water.
just like it's not like you could, like, dump yourself out, you have to cut the like, it's all traveling through a system, vascular
Right.
system.
Like a garden hose. And if you cut
She's
your
not
garden
answering
hose,
this
what
'cause we're
happens?
recorded.
If you cut your garden hose that's full of water, what happens? It all drains out.
Not all of it, you can lift it up later and dump more out, you retard, everyone
Little
knows
bit.
that. Enough of
And there's
it.
siphon, so once it starts going out, your siphon will keep pulling it out. I'm making that up.
You made that part up.
But in theory,
There's like an
oh, here we go.
anti-siphon so your house doesn't get fucked. It depends where the puncture wound is firstly, and it depends on which major arteries are hit. Sometimes it takes a long time. If you don't hit anything major, sometimes you can stab somebody in
What if you kill them and they just lay there for 8 hours draining?
What if you stab them all over? Say you slice them right here, and then you sliced them right there, and you sliced them, like, in different places, and also, like, the neck. So you carotid artery them. I was trying to use talk to text, so forgive me for all the misspellings. I forgive you for that, but I don't forgive you for not finishing a sentence. Like, okay, so say you got several open wounds. Is all your blood gonna escape through those wounds while you lay there? Yes or
It's
no?
gonna try, yes.
It's
Your
gonna
blood does
try
not
all
want
it wants. Who gives a fuck what the blood wants? Their
your
intent
blood
doesn't
does not
matter.
want to stay in your body.
No. No, I forgot the question.
That's right.
Inappropriate. Is it true that men can die of blue balls?
Yes.
Oh, that's a no.
No.
I think you
Die?
probably
Probably
can.
not. Throw
What?
up, get sick, be in pain? Yes.
That could kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if it feels like I'm dying though? You are dying. Then it's
Then
death.
get a styrofoam cup full of warm moose liver. It'll fix your problems.
Warm Fanta. He doesn't know anything, chat. It depends. Wait, I don't want to know. Never mind. Sorry. It depends on which veins are hit.
The ones that kill you.
I like to read that like her. It depends on which our veins are hit. The body naturally tries to stop the
That's that
bleeding.
Georgia
Create clot.
talks to text.
Hold on, but you're dead. Does your body do any of that shit when you have no heartbeat?
Yes.
Shut up. I'm asking a medic.
I will post a video of me doing a beaver.
Yeah. What? No. Damn it, Nova.
And you will see how much blood drains out of that son of a gun.
No one wants to see that
And
ever
I
in the
didn't want the
history of
blood. Like I was
ever.
trying my best not to have the blood come out because it's easier to clean up.
I hate this.
Yeah, you can puke from blue blood. Oh yeah.
You can puke from a lot of things like a headache.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a headache and I'm like, I
Headaches,
wanna throw up.
migraines, yeah. Blue balls will do
Okay.
it. It makes you sick to your stomach.
So if nothing major is hit and the body can send some clotting properties to those
Body's
places,
turned
they
off.
will clot. If a
Body's
major
turned
artery
off.
if a major artery is hit, then no, you can't clot off in time and you will bleed out. The body is dead. Now
And
tell
the
us.
knife wounds were big enough to kill. So it wasn't like a superficial like cut on the arm.
A lot of cuts. And I'm just gonna say there's a lot of cuts in different areas. Let's just say there's like
Do we know
seepage.
how many?
We don't know anything, I don't think.
Shouldn't that be in the coroner's report? Like a picture of the body with all the fucking little stab
Everything
wounds in
is
it?
sealed. We haven't seen any of that. There has to be a trial.
That also makes me think it's fucking dirty because why are you hiding it?
They want to make sure that they're trying to protect the
Majority
verdict.
pool?
The verdict, really, because if they get a guilty verdict and they're like, look at all this stuff you fucked up on, you leaked evidence, or I don't know what, who knows what they could say, then they could possibly get a retrial and then it might be harder. Who knows? I don't know how it all works, but that's what I've read.
Wouldn't the coroner's report be unbiased? Like it wouldn't have anything attached to a defendant. It would just be this is the report.
Really? Well, because
it's not going to say Bryan did all these stabbings here. It's just going to say there were X wounds that were this long and this big.
But what if it's not Bryan and there's a guy out there and they give something away by releasing that report? Like, who knows what? We don't know, again, what we don't know.
Like
But
teeth marks.
if
Maybe
it's
he took a bite.
evidence, if it's somehow related to the case, like why, if it's all the same, the public can wait. They can unseal it when it's all done. Or you can show up in court every day and hear it.
Is that what you want to hear if you were Bryan? The public can wait?
That's what Bryan is requesting. These are all mostly on Bryan's request.
He requested, yeah, that's something else I find weird, that he requested shit be sealed.
I think he requested to get the cameras out of the courtroom too, because he doesn't want to have a public trial. He wants to have a trial.
It's too late now, though. It's already all over the national news. They've already called him a fucking serial killer. They've called him everything in the book. So what's the matter if there's cameras now, right?
Because they're gonna zoom in on and be like, he didn't
Fuck, they
act
have
right. Look, he's
documentaries
not
on
emotional
NBC.
enough. Look, he's a killer because he doesn't laugh when we would
No,
laugh.
he's a
It's
killer
stupid.
because he has bushy eyebrows. That's the whole reason.
Does
He
he
looks
even have
evil.
bushy eyebrows, or does he have sunken in eyes that make his eyebrows stick out? Because
Yeah, see, that's true too.
mean, I would really like the government to put out more information about the dangers. For Christ's sake, Firsty,
So someone's backed up.
lobby your local politicians. Yeah. You got to start at home. You got to start local. I feel like your wife is your best advocate in the blue balls field. Okay. I'm going to go. I really need to get to this. Share this. Okay. So below is the information that this is the arrest affidavit. This is what they used to arrest him. He's saying he went into the house. I'm not going to read all of this because we're not here for that. I will post a video on my channel that I already did this. I did this the other day. It's like 56 minutes. It's so long, and I only sidetracked 2 or 3 times. One time I looked at cars. I wanted to just see
it's not my
if
fault.
the 2003, because they at a certain point they say that it's in 2011, which in the video I say 2001. Again, can't fix
That's
it. I
another
know I'm
question.
wrong.
Why did the model of the car change, or the year
Exactly.
change so many times?
Well, it changed just once. It was what it was, and it changed once.
Why though?
Well, because they couldn't find that guy. That's what I mean. I don't understand that part.
No, they found Bryan, but there's like, we fucked up. He doesn't have that model. We got to change it.
No. Technically, on the timeline of things, they changed it like within 16 days, but which maybe just to widen the range, maybe they were like, could you look at this? So they brought it back to the same dude who had like 34 years of experience, and he changed it. And then the search for Bryan's car from the university happened, and the police officer dude, that was all after. But that was, probably once they widened the range of which car. I don't know, man. I listened to the guy who dropped the girls off, a rideshare driver.
Yeah.
That's my suspect.
Ooh.
I'm serious. He lived 1,200 feet from Bryan. Was surprised that he lived in Pullman. Why? I'm not surprised he lived in fucking Pullman, and I'm not even from there. I just understand how small cities work, and when they're 10 minutes from each
to
other.
live that close.
He doesn't turn in that he never knew about the Elantra until he just suddenly sees it. He turns it in with a bunch of other ones, and his wife's a cop.
Ooh, she's getting
Didn't tell this
promoted.
bitch?
She's getting promoted.
I mean, I don't believe the things
When
that
is
he
this trial
said,
scheduled
the
again?
way that he spoke, he was like, "I'm extraordinarily sad that this is something for this extraordinarily rare case." I'm like, why is he saying that word twice?
Yeah, using
Weird.
random
He feels
words
so weird. So weird. I don't think I have the article up. Oh my land.
Do we know when the
I
trial's
do have
scheduled
the
again?
article.
1,200 feet. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you should read how he speaks. It says, the private driver who dropped Kaylee and Maddie off at their university hours is exceptionally glad an arrest has been made. And the actual quote is, I was surprised but exceptionally glad that some form of resolution is forming. I feel exceptionally bad for those parents and our community. Huh?
Exceptionally
glad that some form of resolution is forming?
That's not how people talk.
Especially when your wife's a cop.
That's PR.
That's what he said. It's weird. He lived 1,200 feet from my front door. I spent 6 weeks trying to convince my wife that there was not a threat, and I was wrong. Your wife is a cop. You weren't. Oh, maybe you were. I don't know. But I doubt she was
Why are they
afraid.
charging him with burglary? He didn't steal nothing.
When he entered the house, it's burglary is
Isn't
the
that just
entering,
break and
right?
enter? I thought burglary's taking things. Because there's break and enter where you just go in and shit in their floor and leave. And then there's burglary where you take their china and their gold-plated forks.
It's
like, hey, if you just plead the murder, we'll drop the burglary.
It says here 4 counts of murder in the first degree. I don't.
Where did I see burglary then? It was on that sheet somewhere. Oh, scroll down a little bit.
Was it
Right.
here or on the
It was in
PDF?
this. Yeah, scroll down a little more. Because it jumped out. Oh, yep. Oh, down. Right here somewhere. Oh, slow down. Burglary, right there. Felony burglary, 4 counts, first degree murder.
First degree murder and with felony burglary. Okay, let me ask the internet what burglary is. What?
Because that seems
is
weird. They never
burglary
said he
in
stole anything.
Idaho? But he did break into their home. Burglary in Idaho is. What is burglary in Colorado? Is burglary a felony?
Break and enter or trespass.
Burglary legal definition in Idaho. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, there we go.
Burglary is a crime in the U.S., including Idaho. Although the exact definition varies from state to state, it generally involves entering a residence or other structure without permission and with the intention of committing a theft or felony.
Oh,
so there you go.
So
he entered with the intention of a felony. He stole their lives, yo. 4 of them.
There you go. See, there you go. Just plead to the murders. We'll drop the burglary.
Right. So this is back to this. He entered the house. He goes through the house. He's going to talk about what he sees. If you want to read all this with me, I'll post a video when I'm done here. Again, I ended up punching in all these numbers. Okay, is this it? On the evening? Nope. This is still just what the girls were doing, and I'm just gonna get through this till we get to the part
I really
about
want to see their cell phone messages back and forth.
Nosy. Oh, I bet you they had to message each other like, "Do you fucking hear that?"
Right. Okay. Are they done yet?
So she looks at her bedroom at 4:15. A security camera located at 112 King Road to the northwest. Let me pull up a photo of this house. Damn, I wish I would have already done this so you can see. I don't think I have one of the outside anymore. I deleted it. Damn it. I'm sure I can find one on the internet real quick. Actually, here's one.
And if they were drunk, they'd bleed out faster because of thinner blood.
This, do you see this? There's a house to this corner here on the right. There's a house right here. It's like they share this huge property thing and they're just numbered. And so
what a weird house. Who builds a house like that with a weird door in the front? Like,
I know. And I was like, when the DoorDash driver delivered the food, does he deliver it here to the front door? He must, right? Because how would he know to go around to the kitchen?
You wouldn't know to go to the back.
And so that means that the girl that got murdered goes down to the front door.
Is the back door in the back or is the back door on the side?
It's on the side. Let me see if there's another photo from back. This is kind of the side of the house. Here we go. This is the direct opposite of the front door is this. There is a door. Oh man, I wish there was a better picture. Let me find a better picture of this house. There are some like classic photos, and I had them for my thumbnail, and then I deleted them. Images. Here's a good one. So, can you see this?
It's like they put container ships together or something.
Yeah, they definitely.
Unless it was like one of those artsy-fartsy designs from the 50s or something.
There's tri-level houses all over the place when you build on a hill. This is not abnormal, I don't think. It's just, I wonder if like this part came first and then they added this or what.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But you would want to, right? In a college town, the more kids you can fit in here, the more money you're making.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the door right here, this bottom slider. That
DoorDash wouldn't go back there, I don't think at all.
I don't think so either, unless they were familiar.
Unless they knew, well, no, that's not, if they knew the house and delivered there a lot because it is a college town, it is a college house. They said, no, come to the back, it might be a normal, the driver may know the house.
Yeah, but the front door is
one
the
of their
front
friends
door.
is the DoorDash driver, who knows, right?
Yeah, it's also a strange place where this house is located. Um, on the map, can we see it? Oh, my Lanza.
Right there where it says second floor, I think that's where all the blood was leaking out of the house running down the wall.
If you look where the house was located, I think I'm close. Oh yeah, right here. Okay.
There we go.
So they're this house. If you look at the
So why do they call it King Road?
this is King Road. This is King Road. I guess
Yeah, that's Queen.
because I don't know. I think again, I don't know how these houses are even put on this plot like this. Like, what the fuck is this? There are
Google
three here.
Maps may not be super accurate with
1, 2,
houses
3, 4,
either.
5. These are let's see.
Oh,
I'll change this. How do I do that? So maybe this. Uh Anyways, I don't know. I don't know. I can't, but I should be able to show you. My point is that one of the girls, Xana, gets her DoorDash at 4 a.m. This crime happens between 4 and 4:20, 4:05 and 4:20, according to the police, because that's when
that's
they see the
pretty
car
narrow
driving, and that's
down.
when they see the car driving away. So the DoorDash happening at the same time is kind of crazy.
Did somebody
And
accept the DoorDash or did it just get left in a picture taken?
again, gag order, they've contacted him, it's sealed, I
Hmm.
looked at it today. Um, but I don't know, it's so interesting. So, but my point of doing this is that if you're the DoorDash driver and you're like, "Okay, King Road, gotta fucking take the Jack in the Box to King Road," and you get on King Road and you're like, "What? What am I supposed to how do I even get to this house?" Right?
Right.
So you might drive around a bit to figure out where the house is and then where to park to get to this house. That's what makes sense to me. So when they say that there's a white car driving around, I'm like, tell me what the DoorDash driver drove. Not only
Yeah.
that, but there's a picture on them. Actually, I think I can do it with you. Ugh, that sounds gross.
That's what I said. I think there's a lot of white Hyundai Elantras.
Well, look at this. This is if you go on Google Maps like we just were, and I could figure out how to get it to satellite. This is going down the street. So you turn around and you can't go down Queen Road, which I guess this is.
See all the
Um,
shoes hanging on the power lines?
that's a drug neighbor.
That's gang signs for this is our neighborhood.
Mhm. Okay, so you can't go down this road on Google Earth with your little person, but when you turn around to look at the house, it's blurred out, which I found interesting. But look at this car that's right here. It
It's a
looks
white
like a
Hyundai Elantra.
doesn't it kind of look like one?
That's what
But
I'm
look at all
saying.
this
There's so
parking.
many.
At night, though, I'm sure they didn't have all this parking. So at night, you might be like, this
No,
guy
I'm
might
gonna
be
say
just
at
trying to
night there's
find a
probably
place to
more
park.
cars parked there because everyone's
Yeah,
passed out after the bars, right? They all went there, parked, partied, wake up
these
in the
people could
morning,
be at
drive home.
school. Well, even not even drive home. This is their home. What I'm saying is half of these people are probably at school now, and so there's parking open up during the day, and then once they all sleep at 4 AM, everyone's home. So if you're a person and this is, 6 people, they each have their own vehicle, they're not related. It's not like mom and dad and their kids.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
just packed, and
And their
that's
boyfriends' vehicles.
I get DoorDash at 4 AM all the time.
I've
Firsty, you're
never
probably
gotten
like 50
anything.
years old. You're also probably 50 years old, Nova. These are college kids. They were hungry. So Xana and her boyfriend are partying at the sorority, which is also around here somewhere, and they don't come home until 2 AM.
What
So they come
restaurants
home,
open at 4
probably do
AM?
sex, and they're like, "We're fucking hungry." And Jack in the Box, it's not a
I don't have Jack in
restaurant.
the Box. All we have is
Oh,
like pizza shops and they shut down at 2 or 3.
you don't have fast food?
They shut down
You have
mm,
no 24-hour you have no 24-hour fast food?
one McDonald's, I guess.
It's 24 hours. Our McDonald's aren't 24 hours. We have Del Taco or Jack in the Box are usually 24 hours or like IHOP, Denny's, any of those DoorDash will pick up from.
I think Jack in the Box just closed their first ever Jack in the Box in California because it was too crime late, too full of crime. People's cars were getting broken into when they were going inside.
Damn, Jack.
So it wasn't that they
Jack.
went out of business, is that the crime was too high for them to stay in business.
I don't
Is
know.
it any good?
No. Okay, that's a lie. If you're drunk, a Jack in the Box taco is fantastic,
Yes.
but I don't know what's in there. For real. It's like dog. It looks like dog or cat food, and then a slice of American cheese, which if you're familiar, that's not cheese. It's
Same
something
as Taco
else.
Bell.
It's all bad. But if you're like hungover a little or drunk, especially, oh
Right.
my
It's a
god,
hangover
so good.
cure.
But
The grease.
they have egg rolls, which I like. I don't know why I like
Oh
fast
yeah,
food
you
egg
brought that
rolls,
up the
but I'm
other
a
day.
big fan of their. Yeah, they have
So
a
is it a
rice roll.
Chinese place? Like why egg rolls?
No, yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't get it either, but I like it. Um, and they have breakfast. I am a kind of a fan of their breakfast because they have this salsa that I really like, and their eggs are you could tell they scoop them out with like an ice
Ice
cream
cream
scooper.
scoop?
Sometimes I'm like, man,
That's how they
push
measure
it down,
portions.
push it. I don't want to see it in the little bowl though. I want to
Yes,
pretend
I
like
know
we
what you mean.
scrambled these
Yes.
bitches right
I
before I
know
got
those
them.
eggs are sitting there for a few hours.
Yeah. But no, it's not good. But it's like road trip food. Like if you're going on a road trip,
Yes.
that's where you would go. If you're at 4 a.m. and you're, you know, whatever, feeling good still, you might be like, what can we get? Jack in the Box.
But weren't they all sleeping?
No, dude, no, not even. So the girl gets Jack in the Box. One of the other girls is on TikTok. They're young. They're not old like you. They're
So
young. And it's
if
like,
you're the murderer and you sneak into this house to kill a bunch of people in their sleep and you hear fucking TikToks and you hear fucking people talking and door dashes and like wouldn't you be like, let me try a different day? Like everyone's awake now. It's probably not a good time. Like, no, I'm
well,
here now. I drove the 10 minutes here. So
first floor girl is okay.
and why upstairs first? Wouldn't you want to like
A
clear
couple
the
things.
downstairs first to
You're
make
asking
sure
too
no
many
one's gonna
questions.
catch you on the way out?
I don't think he knows about the downstairs. He doesn't fuck with that. He comes in and out that first door, the slider on the second floor. So the first girl must be sleeping by 4 or quiet. The second girl and her boyfriend are being quiet because, like I said, they were doing the mattress mambo, the hibbity dibbity. And so they were
I don't
trying to
believe
keep it
that.
down.
These are respectable young people.
You're right. I didn't mean to besmirch their names. If their parents are watching, I do believe they were waiting for marriage, and I made that up for my own clout. I'm so sorry.
Bible
But
study.
they were praying, and they were probably being quiet while they prayed because they didn't want to wake the good Lord. And
That's
then
right.
when they got their food, but here's the thing. So she gets her food. We'll just say she gets it from the front door because that makes sense. She comes up to her room. Her food is in the kitchen in the morning. What the fuck? So maybe she was taking her food to the kitchen when killer comes out and she runs to the room because here's the thing. Dude is found on the bed and she's found on the floor. So she's actually like further close. Do you see what I'm
But
saying?
then
It's
wouldn't
not
she
like
be like
he
running,
was in the
screaming,
house.
someone's in the house?
Exactly. And Dylan might not be telling us all the whole truth. We got questions.
I won't be shocked if someone in that house is connected to the murders, setting it up somehow.
I would be shocked. But let's do some I did some CIA whamming on this, and we're about to get to that part. So this says at 417, a security camera located in the house that I just took a lot of extra time to show you. It's blurred out in this image. The house that supposedly has this security camera. Immediately picked up a distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 417. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Cornoto's bedroom. Let me go back to a house picture.
Why not kill the dog if it's making noise?
He's not a freaking animal. He's just a murderer.
He's not
Regular
he's
murderer.
not a killer.
It's not savage. Okay. Oh, my bad. Let me get back here. So when they say the north, this door faces north, these walls that we're looking at here are all the west walls. When they say that the security camera was can be heard barking numerous times. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Cornoto's bedroom. Cornoto is Xana. She is in the second floor bedroom. Back to this. She's in the second floor bedroom. This is the kitchen window. Her bedroom is right here on the other side of the kitchen, around that hallway, right? And you take
right
a
there
left.
was his first floor. I think that's where all the blood was pouring out of the foundation. Right
Yeah,
there.
that's bullshit. That's stupid. This is where her room is. And this, I think, is where the camera is. So there's another camera. Uh-oh, sound like something's happening out there. There's another camera. It's called the Linda Lane footage. There's a street. Let me show you on the map.
Are there
There's
any
a street right
stores
here
or
called Linda Lane.
businesses close there? Like, they've driven by, like Bryan drove by like a store with real surveillance cameras?
Mm-hmm. They know the map. We're about to get into that. I know it's been a while.
Okay.
I promise we'll get there. But this road right here is called Linda Lane.
Yes.
This address of this house right here is 1133.
Okay.
In the video that's posted on the internet, it's called LL133 front yard footage or something. It's dated, the date of this, 11/13, 4 a.m., 4:05 a.m. There is a car that you see pull up in like 5 seconds. It puts on its reverse lights. It 3-point turns back down the street. In that video, if you keep playing it at like the 4:15 mark, which is kind of what they're saying here, 4:17, you hear a dog bark. You hear it bark again later. You hear a couple thuds. You hear what sounds like a door shut around 4:20, which is when they say, actually, it's like 4:25, which is 5 minutes after they say he sped out of the neighborhood. So there are cameras.
Inconsistencies.
There are definitely inconsistencies, but there's cameras. These two that we know about because it's like this is the only piece of evidence it feels like there really is that, is this. So anyways, that's where that camera is. It's across the street, and that's not the camera that they're going to also talk about later. We know that because this camera on Linda Lane, where's the map? This camera on Linda Lane is east.
Ah.
So that part.
No other houses had a ring doorbell or anything?
I'm sure they did, but they didn't they're not going to tell you. They don't need to tell you everything in the arrest affidavit. They just need to tell you enough to put this person at the crime so that they can proceed with the trial and try to prove it then, Okay, so she opens the door a third time after she heard crying. That's the weird part, man. She heard crying.
Do you cry when you're being murdered, or do you scream?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I probably
motherfucker.
Probably yeah, sob, cry, screaming. I think it's a little mixture of that. I don't know.
I don't see crying.
She could get on the stand and be like, "Hey, I never took ketamine before. I was on that shit and I don't fucking remember. I froze and I wish I didn't. I wish I would have called the cops. I don't know if I could save my friends. Like, who knows? But right now we don't know any of that. We just know this and we're trying to put ourselves in her position. We're like, we would have been heroes."
I want to know how she guessed 5'10".
Karate chop.
People are not great judgments of height
or taller. Maybe she's 5. Maybe she has a brother that's 5'10", and she thought relative to him, he's at least that or maybe taller.
Just seems weird because isn't Bryan exactly 5'10" or something?
Bryan's 6 foot.
6 foot.
So no. He doesn't match. He doesn't have bushy eyebrows, but he has sunken in eyes, which could look like bushy eyebrows in the dark. How the hell did you know there was a step there?
There's so much not adding up.
Or he'd been in the house a lot of times and knew exactly what he was doing. We don't know. Okay, let's get to, they process the crime scene. This is where they find the footprint.
I want to see the body cam footage of the process. I want to see how much blood's laying around. Because if there's not blood all over the walls from him doing, swinging, then I'm calling sus.
I have no idea. I know. I mean, he's a criminal justice major. He's not whatever the person would be, like a doctor where they would know surgically how to do some shit. You know what I mean? Like, as far as, no. Well, like, I'm saying that I'm with you. There should be blood in a lot of places because he might understand what they're looking for in a crime scene and what luminol can find and not find, but he doesn't understand which veins do the spurting because he's not a medical student.
Yeah, we know. This one, the one in your throat, and the one in your thigh. That's all we need to know. Everyone knows those.
No. Which one in your thigh?
Your femoral artery is your biggest one.
In your thighs?
Yes.
Damn.
That's the one that I almost died from.
Ooh. Well, you know about it because you've been told about it. I didn't know about it.
No, and then you
Okay.
carotid. That's the one when you get your throat cut. It's that one.
Okay. I believe you. Let's move on. I'm not going to use this information, and I probably won't retain it. But we just got to the suspect vehicle 1. So, like I said earlier, this is going to be in sections. There's the camera footage, then there's cell phone footage, and then there's cell phone camera footage. And then they're going to show us that the times he was pulled over matched the cell phone records, all that. We're going to be able to see where he is in all of this. It says a review of camera footage indicating that a white sedan, suspect vehicle 1, observed traveling on the 700 block of Indian Hills in Moscow. We're going to do this together. And that's over here. Indian
How many
Hills.
people in Idaho had a white Elantra that immediately went up for sale?
Right. King Road, where is Steiner is here. Okay, Indian Hills is here. So this is Indian Hills Road. This is a 700 block coming around this corner. Well, let's click on one of these and see if we're wrong. Linda Lane, tell me. What is this? Flint Street. Okay, not Flint Street. This house. That's Flint Street. I just clicked on the cul-de-sac. Okay, 714 Indian Hills. So this is the 700 block of Indian Hills, like it says here in the affidavit. 700 block Indian Hills, traveling westbound. I hope this doesn't get annoying for y'all, but it's happening.
Nope, we're good.
He's going this way, westbound. He's going to round this corner, come up to Steiner Avenue. Steiner Avenue, he's going to continue going westbound. He's eventually going to go all the way up here.
Yeah, there's a ton of restaurants and stuff that would have cameras.
King
like
Road
the
is here.
A&W would definitely have cameras. All those little restaurants would have cameras out front. So they should be able to follow them from business to business, right?
The 76 for sure does. I don't see any banks. Anyway, so yeah, that's his route. I just want you to see it. So he comes in down here. Where was it again? Indian Hills. So in order for them to pick him up here, traveling on Indian Hills on this camera, he had to have first started somewhere else, possibly Highway 8. I don't know. We don't know how he gets here, but, or I guess he could have come off 95 and come in this way. He could have come off 95 down Southview and up to Indian Hills, and they catch him here on camera.
Would he know the area, or would he just be trusting Google Earth to direct him?
He would know the area.
Okay.
So that's just what they're showing us here on the affidavit. Stick with me because it's going to be interesting. It says approximately 3:26 a.m. Actually, I have made a couple of these. Is this the same? I made a couple. I'm pulling them up real quick. Here. This is what I'm reading, and this is the map on the right-hand side. I put the times here. This is 3:26 Indian Hills, 3:28. He's up here on Steiner. He gets, according to the this affidavit, he is seen.
That's pretty far in 1 minute.
Yeah, he's in the neighborhood.
3:29,
according to cameras.
He's moving.
Yeah.
But then takes a half hour from 3:30 to 4.
Based on this. Okay, so what it says is approximately 3:26 westbound on Steiner, so that's heading to the left, at Idaho State 95 at approximately 3:28. On this video, it appears he was not displaying a front license plate. That's what makes his car distinct from the rest in the area, like I said earlier. It says a review of footage from multiple videos obtained from King Road neighborhood showed multiple sightings of the vehicle starting at 3:29 and ending at 4:20. These sightings show the vehicle make an initial 3 passes by the King Road residence and then leave via Walenta. So he's going to drive. He's going to, in the 40, so we know he's in his car, according to them, at 4:05 because they see him on a video that we don't see here that's recording sound, which should obviously have sound of the car if this video over on Linda Lane picked it up as well.
I don't think a camera on Linda Lane would hear a dog bark on King Road.
Right? So I did kind of think maybe this is just a stray or a dog. You know, there could be dogs at any number of places. Who knows if
Any
it's there?
house, yeah, any house in the right
The fact that it barks at the same time the crimes are happening
means
is what
nothing.
makes it well, if someone broke into your house, why most dogs aren't barking at 4:15 in the morning?
Unless they hear anything.
Mm, yeah, I mean, that's true. But this dog isn't randomly barking throughout the hour. The video from Linda Lane is an hour long, so you can hear the whole hour, and it's not like I'm pretty sure it's not there. That's the only time this dog is barking in the video. So
Wouldn't the dog bark forever if
circumstantial.
you kill its owner? Wouldn't it just like continuously bark until someone came to help its owner?
Maybe it was in frozen shock phase. You never know. Okay, what else does it say here? And I need to show you guys exits on Walenta. So he leaves King Road here. This is the house. I'll zoom in a little bit. This house here is the house. So he leaves King Road out Walenta. Taylor Avenue turns into Walenta Drive. He takes Walenta, they believe, to actually, let me just read it. I don't need to guess. A review of the footage. Walenta Drive. Based off of my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit during this time. It's like
Except
there's
for
the murderer,
all the kids
there's a
getting DoorDash.
DoorDash guy, there's a
Right.
guy, and then in the Linda Lane video, there's a person who wakes up and goes to work at like 4 right after the vehicle leaves. It's like 4:10, 4:15. You hear his car start, he gets in it and he leaves. I'm like, there's a lot of, I mean, more traffic than I would have expected.
Especially a college town, right? Because everyone's trying to get, their morning jobs to open the coffee shops. And
Yeah, I don't 4 does seem a little early, but yeah, I was surprised to see as much traffic. I think that you could say that in most places, but here, based on the video evidence, you're like, but not here. And he saw this video too as well. He's like, there are a lot of fucking cars driving around.
yeah, a
Anyways, it says,
non-college town, I would believe more, but a college town, teenagers and they're always on the go. They don't care what the fucking 4 or 3 a.m. is. They
yeah,
don't
well,
sleep.
these,
They sleep when the sun's up.
yeah. Okay, so this says, suspect vehicle can be seen entering the area a fourth time, 4 a.m., seen driving around King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road 52. That, if you look at this map, 500 Queen Road, I'm so sorry that I'm going to keep going back, but I just want you to know that I'm not making this shut up.
It's a good visual.
Queen Road here, this apartment complex is 590. This is 500 Queen Road Apartments. The car comes in and turns around. Linda Lane's cameras are facing this way. They see this car come up and go, oh shit, this
Dead
is
end.
like nothing happened here. But is it because the car that leaves Linda Lane pulls out, pulls his car back down, and does literally the same thing? It looks like he turned around the same place the other car turned around. So it seems like a local that would know. I don't know. What's very strange. We can watch that video if you want. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up when we're done if you want, because it's. Should I just do it now? I think I can find it.
It looks weird that Queen Road just ends and Linda Lane just ends, but somebody didn't know enough. Like if he stalked these people and planned it all out, he didn't know that road.
Linda, you would think if you stalked him, he would know. Linda Lane,
Right.
if he's some kind of genius. Idaho. Oh, let's see if I can find it.
I think 3-point turning and turning around, I think that's all like delivery driver behavior.
Yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. I know this is linked here. I thought it was linked here. I know it's in my history, that's for sure. Okay, this starts at 5 minute to 4. Can you see this?
Yeah, I'm leaning in.
Okay. Starts at 1:04. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward it a little bit because we know the car won't show up until 4:05.
Do any cars go back and forth until then? Or is it
Nothing
only
happens.
one?
Yeah, it's the only one. I'm just bumping the time 5
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah. I'm just trying to see a cop walk by.
Oh, this
A
video
Fed.
has been viewed a lot. We would know. You'll see the headlights kind of on these trees back here. You can maybe assume these trees are on Queen Road. Don't know. That should happen shortly. I think maybe 30 seconds is when it actually happens.
So is that fence? Is that the road, or is that where cars are parked? Because I see lights.
There's cars parked right here in front of it.
Okay.
Here we go. 4:05:22. The lights show up. So you can kind of see it's a white sedan.
There's no way someone pulled out a fucking Hyundai Elantra.
This isn't the only video. This
Okay,
isn't the only
sorry.
video. The lights showing up there are the reverse lights coming on.
Yeah. They
It
don't look
sounds
like they're in a rush
listen
or
to that car
panicking.
though. That doesn't sound like Bryan. If your Elantra sounds like that though.
It just looks to me like somebody was like, oh, this is a dead end, turn around, go back out.
Yeah, right? They didn't spend too much time there, maybe looking for somewhere to park, realizing there's nowhere to park. Maybe they're expecting this guy to already be at work, but he's running late because he's going to show up soon. I don't know exactly when. Oh, wait a minute. That's probably him. Or this is happening again. What time is this? 4:07? Someone locked their car? What is this?
It's another car. That's not a white Hyundai Elantra. Why weren't they looking for that vehicle that's behind the post right now? That looked like a black vehicle to me, like a Fed van.
Yeah, what the crap?
How come no one brought out a second vehicle?
Mandela effect. I don't remember seeing that one because I went through this for every time I saw like a headlight or something. Okay.
So that was two vehicles, unless he
Same
did the
time.
fucking figure eight.
Maybe they know the DoorDash was driving a black car, and we don't know that part.
Oh, maybe that's, but that's the murderer, isn't it? The DoorDash guy,
No, the rideshare guy.
rideshare.
Yeah, that's my theory. Someone's gonna fucking go to work soon. You'll see. Doesn't matter. I hear another car. No one's in this neighborhood at this time, though. Very quiet, based on this cop's experience.
Yeah. Except every day that guy gets up at 4 a.m., goes to work.
On Google Earth, you can't get up to Linden Lane and like the road turns, and you can't see where it ends. But you'll watch when this guy finally fucking goes to work. He must be waiting for the twins. You'll see he kind of does the same thing as that car did. He's probably already gone and I missed it. Wait a minute.
What was that little flash?
I don't know. Let's go back.
Right there.
Oh, he started his car. He just started it.
Ah,
That
yeah,
person.
warm it up.
Yeah.
Is it cold then? Oh, yeah, it was February, wasn't it?
It was November 13th, and it was cold. There was some snow on the ground. The days after this, it would snow a lot. So that person just got into their car.
Oh, I could hear that.
He half deaf, y'all.
Jesus, high beams. That guy's backup lights are as bright as his front lights.
This sounds like a damn trash truck. Okay, so you can drive away that way clearly, right?
Yes.
How the hell? Let's go back to the map. Share this. That doesn't happen here. You can't actually do that here. So
I wonder if Google Earth you
how
can see right that's like a drivable. That might be the road may end there. It might be a parking lot between those two roads, maybe. Could that be a
yeah, well, you
parking lot
can't go
area?
down either of these roads. And when you're on this street, you can't go much further. I think you might even be able to come down here, but this building is in the way. Where's my guide? Let's do it. See? See
Oh,
where
it
you can
stops there,
go
yeah.
to the end? And you can't go down these ones either.
I know what we do. We call DoorDash in that area and ask them to drive around and just deliver food for us, but they have to give us the dash cam
Yeah,
footage.
I want you to DoorDash me some photographs.
Hey, if you tip them, they'll do whatever you want.
They're probably illegal. Okay, so he leaves out Willenta Drive. Let's get back into this. We're just here to talk about this map and why this affidavit is retarded.
Did you
Three-point
see a high rate
turn.
of speed? I didn't see a high rate of speed.
That was entering. This is exiting. We
Entering.
don't see a video of any of that. So it says exit seen departing King Road 420, high rate of speed, observed traveling southbound on Willenta. We saw that. We're going to look at it again. Believe the suspect likely exited the neighborhood at Palos River Drive and Conestoga Drive. Palos River Drive is at the edge of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County. Eventually, the road leads to Pullman, Washington. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow in Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. So they're saying he left the house. I'm going to share this again.
Wouldn't you
Here's the house.
drive slow to the murder and fast away from the murder?
Why?
Why would you be speeding at a high rate of speed to go murder somebody and then drive slowly away?
No, they're saying 420, he left the neighborhood at a high rate of speed. But I don't think you would go slow there. In fact, I
thought you
think
said
this
he
guy,
came I thought you said he arrived at a high rate of speed.
I said 420, he was exiting the neighborhood at a high rate of speed. The white car anyways was.
Okay.
But if he is the evil genius that they're probably going to need to make him out to be, he did all this research on how to act and how to behave and how to like master your emotions during high intense crime. He wouldn't be speeding. He would be following he would be doing everything
perfectly.
right. He probably has even Googled like what is appropriate, like maybe 2 miles over is less guilty looking. Because when I see people going the speed limit, I'm like, God damn it, get your green card. Because I know you're only doing this shit because you don't want to get pulled over. Get out of my way.
Exactly.
Those stop signs are a suggestion when you got your license. Just roll on through, y'all.
California roll.
Yeah, it is a California roll. And that is not, that doesn't.
That's funny. We call it that California roll even here.
Yeah. It's definitely, sometimes I stop all the way to stop sign. I'm like, oh, damn. It's a lot of just nothing happening right now.
A California roll saves fuel. You're not doing it to break the law. You're trying to help the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. And momentum is real. Okay, let me show you this. This is the house on King's Road. This is 1122. This is the house the murder happened. In the affidavit, it's telling us he leaves out of here, down Walenta, heading south. They believe that he that he exited here, Palos River Drive, via Conestoga Street, right here, as you can see in the middle. They say this road leads, if you take it, it leads to a 10-minute drive back to Moscow, commonly driven road. And I'm like, okay, that's probably true. 10 minutes, right? Because we looked at the map earlier, and this road from here to here is 10 minutes.
Yes.
Where the hell is it? Pullman. Oh, Moscow. This section. All said and done. Let's keep going back. Then it says, law enforcement officers provided video footage of suspect. 35. This is where they decided it's a 2011 to 2013. they're going to come back and say this is where they saw video footage from the Pullman campus. So then he drives back. He gets back to the campus he leaves at 2:44 is what they're saying here. Review video indicated that approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, consistent with the description of suspect's vehicle, was observed traveling north on Nevada Street at the stadium. So that's another map I'll show you. Not this one.
Did he live at the college or did he live with his parents?
No, he lives on university housing in university housing.
Okay.
It's this one. So he's seen at these times.
He's efficient. Give the man credit. He's efficient.
I guess. Well, we'll be able
to waste a minute.
Yeah, we'll be able to zoom in here and see these other streets that they show him on. Nevada Street and his street. He lives past the college. I'm not as familiar with his city as I got with the other one, but we'll be able to do it. We'll just type it in. It says he left using Nevada Street and traveling southeast on Nevada toward SR 270. 270 connects Pullman, Washington. The camera footage from Pullman was provided to the FBI. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle as being a 14 to 16 Hyundai Elantra. So they're saying that he got in his vehicle at Pullman, got on 270, headed south, got on 270, and entered Moscow in the morning. 2:45 he left to do this. I'm not sure if you realize this yet, but they told us he showed up this way through 95 because he's way the fuck down here on whatever Indian Hills Road,
Yes.
which is 95 is how he would have come in.
A lot of
and if he leaves at
2:45,
he gets to Pullman at 2:55. He gets to Moscow at 2:55 if he takes this route. It's 10 minutes. If he takes the long route, it takes him an hour. Yes. Which makes it closer to when they say he got there. But they don't say that. They're saying camera footage shows him leaving here. It's consistent with this. Let me read it one more time. Start at the beginning. Investigators were given access to video footage of the University of Washington campus. A review of that video indicated that approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, the white sedan consistent with the suspect's vehicles was observed traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Stadium Way. At 2:53, a white sedan consistent with the vehicle was traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman toward SR 270. State Route 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. The camera footage from Pullman, Washington was provided to the FBI forensics examiner. The identified vehicle observed in Pullman being the Elantra. At 5:25, a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the vehicle, was observed on 5 Pullman, Washington WSU camera. So let me go back to this little picture. This one. So all they're telling us in this little snippet of cameras that they pulled from the university was that they see him leaving at 2:55. They see him back on those same cameras at 5:25. They are telling us he took 270, which is right there. You can see it, consistent with him taking 270 over to Idaho. Got it. At approximately 5:25, he was seen on 5 cameras. Now it's like, does he want to be seen on the cameras, or does he not? Is he not trying to conceal himself?
They haven't even said both cars are the same car. They just said matching the description. They're not saying we saw this car and we saw the same car later, right? They're saying we saw 2 white cars at 2 different times. But we can't conclusively say they were the same car. Otherwise, they would have said we saw Brian's car and Brian's car.
Amit is asking if you think that Bryan Kohberger knew the murder victims.
I don't think so. I think he might have followed an Instagram or something. Maybe that's all I heard. I don't think he actually knew them personally. Oh no, wasn't he in the house once? Didn't someone say that? Or am I making that up?
These are just theories.
Okay. The one person was saying they knew each other at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with that. I don't think
From
the
what
movie.
we've heard, right? I'm with you on that. Okay, so this is just saying again, 5
I think that was just
cameras
rumors about stalking.
about him being the stalker, right?
Yeah.
But same at the beginning too. When it first happened, we were told that one of the girls had a stalker, and the dad was recently there fixing the locks, which made me think if one of the roommates hears somebody there, knows there's a stalker, knows they're trying to keep somebody out
Right?
actively, why then do you like? I don't understand
Ignore it
shock.
all.
Yeah, but then why the fuck do you ignore it all? Let me read. It says the first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at 1300 Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed north on Johnson, leading directly back to West Pelrose River Drive in Moscow, which intersects with Constantinople Drive. So they're saying, let me read that again. Johnson Road leads directly back to West Pelrose Drive, which intersects with let's see.
That's why they want everyone driving electric vehicles, because they can track everywhere your vehicle goes from now on.
Oh, Johnson Road. Let's just type it in. Johnson Road. Did it stay? Did it stay in the right state? No, I don't think so. Visalia. Did it go to California? Okay, it's trying to find me. Let me try that again. It's just random Johnson Road near me. No, not near me. It's in Pullman, Washington. Did it do it here? Yes. Okay.
A lot of ways.
So,
A lot of places are called Way.
why are they called Way?
Cougar Way, Stadium Way, Grimes Way.
I don't know. I wonder what like it takes to be a way or an avenue or a road or a street. Maybe you
Chat.
have to connect to something else to be a way. I don't know. Yeah, chat, please tell us. So this is it. It says this is going to connect with, it's actually going to connect with Sand Road, I'm pretty sure. I kind of remember this. We have to somehow get, so this must be the way that they're saying he took. Because I'm pretty sure. Yep, Constantinople. And this road that they say, Palos River Drive, when you zoom out, it turns, oh, you can't see this. It turns into Sand Road. So this is how they think he left the neighborhood. Palos River Drive. Back up, it's turning into Sand Road. Sand Road is going to come down here and turn into Johnson Road eventually.
I'm assuming green's all like wooded area or something.
And this is where they pick him back up again at 5 a.m. Right. Yeah, I would assume as well. Again, I guess they're saying that.
Like, why wouldn't you take, if you were going to take the wooded area, the wooded way home, wouldn't you take the wooded way there?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm no murder genius, but.
Yeah, we know. We heard your stupid beaver dam idea. Okay, it says at 5:27, the launcher was observed traveling north on Stadium Way. So then it got back into town. Here's their map. They're saying, here's the college, here's the other college between these white dots, and they're saying here's basically his route. It just says depiction showing the Wida launcher's path of travel, not to scale. That's
Nothing.
5 a.m. or 2 a.m. leaving and 5 a.m. coming back. This is their picture of that. Just keep that in mind because it's going to get weirder. On November 25th, they were asked to be on the lookout for the new car. An officer, this is where they find him. A couple officers find him looking for it. We're not here for any of that. We're here to look at where they track him through maps and cell phone towers. That's it. Anything. Oh, so Bryan weighs 185 and he's 6 foot. Anything other than the map shit is, I have another video. You can go watch that if you want to just read all these details and see other stuff. Latah County Sheriff. What is this? Sole occupant, Pennsylvania plate. He got pulled over on this day. Okay, so this says further investigation, including a review of their department's body cam and records, show that on August 21, Bryan was detained as on a traffic stop. Kohberger was the sole occupant of the car, which tags were set to expire on November 30th. The whole internet is making a giant deal that he got new plates on his car. Like, his shit was expiring.
Plates expires. Doesn't that just mean you get a new ticket or a new sticker?
No, you have to register in their new state. He doesn't get to keep pretending he lives in Pennsylvania. He now has to become a Washington resident. He probably had 10 days. In California, you have 10 days to do it. It sounds like he just waited until his
10
old
days.
tags.
Jesus, we got like
3 days to re-register. They want your money. They also want to know, like, coming and going. Like, if you don't have your tag,
you can't have a vacation in California for 2 weeks.
It's probably just some loophole that gives cops PC, so they can say, "Well, there was an out-of-town car that I'd seen it a week ago, so I knew 10 days had passed. That means that they're breaking the, you know what I mean? There's some kind of PC in there." Yeah. It says during the stop, which was recorded via body camera, he gave his phone number. Investigators conducted a database search on the phone number, and it's issued by AT&T. October 14th, the day after, he was detained during another traffic stop. He was, again, the only person in there in those plates, which is weird, right? You guys are looking for this car, looking for a criminal in this car, and you're not like, you know what? We just pulled somebody over in one of those. It's going to take you another 3 weeks.
They were collecting his DNA.
On November 18, according to, oh my land. So what if this is where they got his DNA markers?
That's what I'm saying.
I've seen body cam of this. How is that possible? I don't think they took anything out of his car.
Touch DNA, it just has to be a hair or anything, right? When you take his driver's license, you can scrape off some fucking skin cells or something.
Shut up. No. On November 18th, according to Washington State licensing, he registered his car, so that's normal. Prior to this time, he was registered in Pennsylvania. Okay. And this is when he gets the second license plate. Before he only had one. They're telling us to be like, see, it matches again. Investigators believe that he's still driving the Elantra because he was captured. This is weird. Captured on December 13th by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. They're just random ass license plate readers out there telling everybody where everyone is.
Oh, you don't know that?
No, I do now.
Cops have this little camera in the car, so when they drive around, so they don't have to like plug in every license plate. They literally just drive down the street. It goes beep, beep, beep on each plate. And if it's a out-of-date plate, it'll go beep, 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 and they pull over and get that guy. Tow truck drivers have them too. Yeah, tow truck drivers have them too.
Illegal. There should be, where's the probable cause in that?
They're just making sure everybody's safe and on the road legally. It's for your safety.
That feels illegal. I'm not big on this.
Your license plate's not protected. It's out in public view. So it's publicly available data. So they literally just drive. If you ever watch, what's that show? They repo cars, and they literally just drive down the road until they get a dig.
Publicly available is what you can see with your eyeballs. If my tag says it's fine and you can't see otherwise that it's fine, then you don't get to do a search to see if I've committed a crime. Fuck out of here. Right?
Only if you can afford a lawyer.
I don't know.
The law doesn't matter. What the law is does not matter. Maybe when you get your
license, you like sign some of those away. Like in order to use the public roads, you're subject to something like that. I don't know how it works. It feels illegal and racist.
Like the cops here in Canada can search your car whenever they want if it's on the road because you signed it. You're on the government. You're on the Queen's road, so the Queen can search your car. They can't search me, but they can search my car all they want. So the trick is you hide your drugs on your person, never in your car.
Good morning, Grizz. Welcome to the shit show. So maybe this summer, Rich and myself will take a trip down there and do some live. Yes. How far away are you, Vicky? Why do we have to wait for the summer? Maybe this summer. That's a long time away, Vicky. Maybe this weekend. Think about it. Just think about it.
Drop that up.
Questions. Do you have a white car? That'd be great. Okay.
How many people, when the cops said we're looking for a white Honda Elantra, how many white Honda Elantras called them out and go, hey, I got one. Do you want to put me for murder?
None. I bet none. I'm going to go with none. That's my final answer.
How many neighbors got ratted out for having a white Honda Elantra?
Well, I know
the dog barks every fucking night I'm sleeping. I'm calling her.
The rideshare driver said he turned in like 10 plates. Yeah, of course. He's trying to get people under the bus. He's like, not me.
That's why That's why it's the rideshare driver. He's trying to get anybody to hang for it besides him.
Yeah. Mhm.
You
And
shouldn't try
he
to help.
and supposedly, this is the supposedly and allegedly, he said, once the names were released, he realized that those girls were in the car, so he provided a receipt that he went to lunch or food. He got food right after he dropped them off, so it wasn't me. I'm like, "Motherfucker, they got murdered 2 hours later, stupid. You had time to eat."
Right. 2 hours, long time.
Yeah, so, like, you were the last one to see them alive. I feel like you are the suspect. Tell me what your car looks like.
He should be suspect. The last person to see them alive should be number one. And then you work your way around that.
Yes, so that's why he's number 1.
I'm not FBI though.
Yes, we're armchair lawyers. It's the same thing. Okay, so it says,
Basically.
based on information provided to the website, he's a current PhD guy. Right. We're just here for the. Okay, here we are. As part of this investigation, law enforcement obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices and utilized cellular towers in close proximity to the King Road residence on November 13 between 3 and 5 when they assumed the murders happened. After determining that Kohberger was associated with an Elantra and a phone, investigator reviewed these search warrants. Search of the phone in these returns did not show the phone utilizing cell tower resources in close proximity to the residence between that time. Based on my training, it's because he turned his phone
Bullshit. Yeah.
off. During these types of surveillance, it's possible that the individual would not leave their so it says, I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area where they intend to commit a crime prior to the dates. Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days prior or several months prior. During these types of surveillances, it's possible that the individual
Convenient.
would not leave their cell phone off during these times. So, he was doing trial runs, so he kept his phone on, and then when it was like the real thing,
Right.
he turned his phone off. On
Here's a
December
question.
23rd. Mhm.
For the cell phone ping data, could they
Mhm.
not bring up all the cell phone pings between that small window of time and then be like cross them off as they know it wasn't the person and just be left with one cell phone ping that's actually moving at that time of day and be like, oh, this is this fucking rideshare guy.
And the DoorDash people, and there's probably a lot of people that I don't know if you can, like, invade other people's privacy just to see if they're your person. Again, comes down
I don't
to
think you invade privacy because you're not looking for their names. You're just looking for the dates and times. That's called metadata, right? That's why we gave it all away on our fucking phones. It's metadata. It's not personal.
but if you have to get a search warrant for it,
You'd have to
it's
get a search warrant to match the name to the pings. You're like, hey, this ping is in the time zone. It's in the window.
oh, you're
It's the one.
saying
Yeah.
what are you
And then
asking
you'd have
again?
to get a search warrant for the name of whoever owned that metadata.
So you're asking if do I think the police got a whole list of every ping and then well, this
Because
says
everyone that's home sleeping would ping, but it wouldn't be a moving ping, right?
why would their phones be pinging? Only if they're using them. I'm
That's what
pretty
I mean.
sure.
Like everyone's phone would ping no matter what. It's just you only want to look into the moving pings between 4 and 5 a.m., whatever those were. Which
Okay.
should be a smaller number because remember, this cop says people don't move around at that time of night in this neighborhood.
But uh, okay. I'm just trying to get to your point. Help me out here.
So couldn't they just bring up all the pings from all the cell phones and then narrow it down?
Yes.
But we can't do that because we're FBI.
No, who says they didn't do that? What we don't know that there's no trial. We only know what they've put here. Again, they're not going to show you all of their cards. There's a whole trial that has to be made against this person. So what they are saying is that when they knew that what his phone number was, then they checked it against records and saw his phone in these places and that's it. So maybe
If
they
you're
knew
this smart,
everyone.
you would give the cops
His
because
was off, so it would be irrelevant. If they did it how you say to do it, they wouldn't
right.
then anyone who decided, like, "I'm not gonna take my phone to the murder," it gets away with it. So it's like, "Nah." I could see why it would work, but I could see why it would have
But
its
if you're
limitations.
smart enough to turn your phone off, would you be smart enough not to take it while you're scouting your murder location?
Yeah, that part. I don't so
That's where I
if you're
have
gonna
difficulty that he's super smart and super dumb. That's my difficulty.
well, you can I don't that makes sense, right? Like, you're not a you
He planned it out perfectly. He didn't leave a drop of blood. He stalked them for months. He did all these things, but he left his phone on.
He
While he
didn't leave
stalked.
a drop of his own blood. That's the
Well, no, there
difference.
was none of his blood, their blood in his vehicle either.
Right. There was no blood on him. That
And
is
no sign that he
interesting.
even tried to clean, is what Andrea Burkhart said. There was no, they said his car was fucking filthy.
His
So
car was filthy when we see it December 13th, a month later. That doesn't mean anything. It could have been dirtying it up for a
Andrea
month.
Burkhart said that the report, when they did the forensic on the vehicle, there was zero attempt at cleaning. There was no bleach stain. There was no bleach, anything like
Oh, inside the car? I was just
inside the
talking.
car. Yeah, Andrea, that's where I
Where
got
do
it from. I
we
got it
see
from her.
that? Let's
I got
go.
that from
So,
her.
well, I went through here. I know. Well, where does she get that? Because
Find the car where they process his car, and then when they report the car, there was she highlighted it in the writing that there was no evidence of attempt to clean or mass cleaning or something.
Idaho 4. Let's see if I can find it.
Because she brought that up when they were asking her about it, and she got all excited. She's like, "No, there wasn't even proof that he tried to clean the car," which, because that's what the hold against. She's like, "Look, we tested the car for blood and everything, but all we found was bleach. Why is there so much bleach in your fucking car? You tried to clean it." And she's like, the forensics said that there was no attempt to clean the car.
When was this? 1 year ago. It's just Reddit. I'm looking for someone curious if anyone knows who processed it. Really, you don't have to be ugly. I thought that there are folks on here who are great at digging. Uh-oh. I guess that's not going to be good. I'm just looking. I have no idea.
I'm going to see if I can find Andrea talk about it. I want to follow her when she gets right into it, because she's going to go to all the court, like in courtroom.
Yeah. Well, she's going to have to if she wants to talk about it. Okay.
Her last video was 5 months ago.
Yeah. And they were saying because they just met this last week in court, if you were planning on going to Idaho for this trial this summer, to cancel it because it won't happen till next summer. Because there's 50 terabytes to go through. I'm like, well, if the fucking police pin the case on dude in 6 weeks, they got through it in 6 weeks.
Where's all this data coming from? Other than the crime scene reports, where's the data coming from?
Well, we just read there's video data, there's cell phone data, there's cameras from around the neighborhood data, there's...
Oh, looking at Andrew's channel now, she has one that says there's zero connection to Bryan and the victims.
Right, outside of like aside from the murders, right before this date, there's no connection to them, which is strange. Like, but if you are like, as a true crime watcher, we know certain things, right? Like,
yes,
it's usually this person that they look at. It's usually that they were caught because of this connection. So maybe he's like got murder on his mind, or whoever did this. We'll call it a she. Maybe she's got murder on her mind. And she's like, okay, I know I have to pick somebody I don't know. So just the next time I go to eat, the first person who says the word parrot is who I'm going to kill. That's like as super random as you can get.
Yes.
And then you just follow that person and figure it out or something like that. Like maybe if he's a genius, like some want to say, then he picked the victim out that way. Bum, bum, bum.
Possibly.
Okay, I want to read this though. Records indicate historical site location information. After receiving this information, I consulted with the FBI's special agent that does cell phone analysis, and this is what they found. It says, is this it? Front license plate? No, I have a visual for this somewhere here. It says on November 13th at approximately 2:42, the phone was using cell resources at his own apartment in Pullman, Washington. That's 1630 Northeast Valley Road. Says at 2:47, the phone utilized resources that cover the southeast of the residence, consistent with him leaving his house. So that is 242. I'm sure it's on here. Let me look. Oh, I can't see any of this. This isn't the map. Neither is that. Where the hell is the map? Okay, possibly I didn't make one for this. We'll just stay here together. Says so 247 he leaves his house. 247 he's traveling. The phone does not report to the network again until 4:48, at which time it utilizes resources that provide coverage to 95 south of Moscow near Blaine. So at 4:48, maybe that is this picture. Hold on. Near Blaine. No, that isn't this picture. This one shows it, but I want to go to a real map. So he leaves his house. It shows him leaving his house cell phone wise at 2:49. It doesn't pick anything else up according to this until 4:48. So at 4:48 he's here near Blaine on 95. So they told us that he exits the neighborhood somewhere in here and takes this road to Johnson and connects up to 270. 10 minutes, normal travel between.
Right.
But in their next page, 6 pages later, they say he's leaving down 95 on Blaine. Near Blaine is where the phone picks him up. So 25 minutes later, after the crime, after they think the crime happened at 4:20. So what time was
He
this
turns his
again?
phone immediately back on instead of waiting until he gets all the way
Right.
home and turning it back on.
At which time it utilizes resources covering 95 near Blaine. Between 4:50 and 5:26, the phone utilizes resources that are consistent with the phone traveling south on 95 to Genesee, traveling west toward Uniontown, and then back north into Pullman. Let's look at this. Here's Moscow where they happened. He's, according to them, traveling down 95 past Blaine, down to Genesee, way the fuck down here, over to Uniontown. We're going to give them the benefit that they took the Leon way because of the map they're going to show us. And then they said he heads north, back up to Pullman here. This is over an hour drive. He does it in 30 minutes because he's very fast. He's speeding away. Allegedly. Even though they have told us that this up here shows depiction of path of travel. It doesn't include any of this Genesee stuff. It doesn't include Blaine. It doesn't include Uniontown. It literally showing him going from here to here, according to them. Strange. Where else? I went too far up and forgot to pay attention. Oh, here we are. Approximately 2:47. He left his house. At 4:48, he is by Blaine. At 5:26, he is back up. It says 5:30. The phone utilizes resources for Pullman, Washington. So he has done that loop. Okay, I was wrong. In 40 minutes, which is pretty decent. I mean, there's no traffic, I assume.
I found the Andrea clip.
Okay.
It's in the Rumble chat.
Okay. And then they catch him on all of the phone. Somebody's here. The phone is
how do you know?
Going back up by the college and picking him up again. So again, they catch him back here. Hold on one second. I also got to pee. So if you want to, I wasn't even showing you this. If you want to chit chat, I'll be just 2 seconds.
Sure. All right, chat. The Burkhardt. Andrea lives just outside Moscow. She has been attending every court hearing personally, and then she comes out and reports on what's being said, what the judge's attitude is, what Bryan's defense lawyer is, all that stuff. She's a appellate attorney, so she's like a higher up top dog type girl. She thinks that the fact there's no DNA in Bryan's car is an actual like bombshell thing that she should look in, that everyone should like consider. It's like, it's not officially a bombshell, but lack of evidence is kind of a bombshell because you don't murder 4 people with a knife and you don't get any blood in your own car. Like, it's crazy. And then they're not saying that he wore all these suits and he just scared of them after the fact. There's no one's ever said that he wore a suit. No one said he's fucking any of that. But there's zero evidence in his car. And Andrea like clings onto this, and she's like actually excited that this is a bombshell. So I'm interested to see if Div. I'm pretty sure she's seen it before. I think she just forgot, or I'm
Don't you lie on
misremembering.
me.
What's
Don't you
more
lie
likely?
on me. This is 20 minutes. Did you say you have a timestamp?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. No explanation. Okay.
Your camera's
Oop,
off.
Pause. Hold on. I got a few things to do.
Oh, never mind.
Music make me lose my mind. Share this. Make it bigger.
Let's see if
Can you
I
see
didn't
this?
watch it. I just like found it. So let's see if my memory's good.
No explanation for the total lack of DNA evidence from the victims. Bum, bum, bum.
Unmute.
A lot in this very short 1.5 page summary of the
A little
facts. But the key point, the big bombshell that jumps out at me here is in the second to last statement. There is no explanation for the total lack of DNA evidence from the victims in Mr. Kohberger's apartment, office, home, or vehicle. They found no trace DNA in his car. Guys, I got to tell you, this is a big one. Now,
Big one.
I'm already expecting there's going to be a lot of
Big.
absence of evidence
Huge.
isn't evidence of absence. And that's a perfectly legitimate, logical proposition. But the
So you
problem
can tell
is
by the smirk on her face. She's like, "This is big."
Absence of evidence isn't necessarily evidence of what? Hold on.
Go back 10 seconds.
Here it is.
going to be a lot of absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. And that's a perfectly legitimate, logical proposition. But the problem is that when you are dealing with a circumstantial case, part of the strength of the inference that can be drawn from the evidence depends on it being inconsistent with alternative explanations. A lot of times when I'm doing jury selection with a jury and we're talking about the reasonable doubt standard and kind of what that means and how you apply that and stuff like that, I will propose as a working way of understanding how to go about that is, look, if there's a reasonable alternative explanation for a set of circumstances, then you haven't been convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the state's explanation is the only one that can be true. So being able to draw an inference from a sample of DNA, at this point, we understand, believe to be touch DNA on this button of a knife sheath, the strength of the inference to be able to conclude that that identifies the killer, the person who wielded a murder weapon and committed these murders, is only so strong as the ability of the surrounding circumstances to confirm that inference. And so the problem is, absence of evidence kind of can be evidence when you would expect that evidence to be present under the circumstances. Right. If that would be the reasonable situation,
or bloody
given everything else that we know about this case. And given what we know about this case, 4 people were brutally stabbed in an extremely short period of time. This was a messy crime scene. The likelihood of being able to
allegedly,
commit all of these crimes, not leave your own DNA all over the scene, not trace any of the DNA that you are, sorry to be crude here, but kind of waiting in all likelihood, to not track that out to your your car seats, not have it seep into the carpet,
waiting in is ridiculous.
Your home. This just is not a real highly probable sequence of events. You have to explain, how could this person be so careful to take care of all of these loose ends, but yet be so careless as to just happen to leave that little bit of touch DNA on the button of the knife sheath?
Accidents happen, Andrea.
So this is not a good development for this.
Knock it off. Okay, but she's reading that from Bryan's lawyer, right? That's written by them. So, of course, as she probably said, they're going to be fighting this case. Yeah, with their bias is obviously known. And so when you say thank you, Andrea, She gave you this idea. You repeated it. Her repeating her idea isn't her.
Go to 12-minute mark.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. 12 minutes. This better get good.
I want to real quickly talk about some objections that I'm anticipating we will see
Here we
to my take here, which is that, wow, this is kind of revealing that the state's case is massively falling apart here. Number
Massively.
one, well, he cleaned the car, right? We heard these reports around the time of his arrest, anonymously sourced, of course, that he had been seen out, scrupulously cleaning his car. The problem with that theory is that there is going to be evidence of that. And as this statement is written, it's not just that there isn't DNA, no DNA evidence in the car, it's that there's no explanation for it. So cleaning is typically going to leave some type of evidence. You're going to see that, like, oh, the carpet on the floorboard has been peeled back here because, you would need to be able to get in and clean under that. Blood will seep through, it will leave a residue that can be located. So you'd have to, essentially take most of the car apart to be able to get to that. That's going to leave some type of trace that doesn't appear to be the case here. Likewise, cleaning chemicals. If you're just out there, with a wet rag trying to wipe this stuff up, you're not going to get it all.
When she says this doesn't appear to be the case, where does she see it not appearing to be the case?
I don't know. She's in court, right? She sees what we don't get the access to.
No, they're not on trial. They haven't presented evidence yet.
No, but she's been in the courtroom hearing the arguments because she tried to dismiss it. The what's her name? Brian's lawyer is like, no, we need to dismiss this. There's no evidence. There's no blood in the car. It's like they were like throwing everything out. Like,
she's saying that if the rumor that the car has been cleaned is a rumor because there would be evidence for that. But
she's saying there's zero evidence
in the affidavit. I'm asking where else is there evidence that's showing her that? Because when they made the affidavit, they did that to get an arrest warrant. They hadn't yet searched his apartment, or maybe they had.
Wasn't that how they said?
But they definitely hadn't searched his car.
Like he's getting rid of evidence. We got to arrest him now.
Listen to me. He's in his car in Pennsylvania in December 13th. The whole trip back, he's in his car. So they haven't looked in his car for this affidavit yet. They don't know that yet. It's not in here. To say that they didn't put evidence is because they haven't looked to know that they could rule out evident blood being in the car, right?
I don't know. Give her another minute. See if she has anything to add.
Well, she doesn't bring up any sources. It's just going to be her telling us.
There's going to be trace there. So it's likely that somebody who is trying to cover up the existence of evidence like this, they're going to use something. They're going to use bleach. They're going to use ammonia. They're going to use some type of chemical to try to destroy any DNA that would remain. That as well is going to leave residual traces. They're going to be able to say, well, we didn't find any DNA, but we sure found a whole lot of bleach residue. That would.
What if he used hydrogen peroxide and he knows luminol can't see it? Because if I know that from watching Chandler Halderson's basement testimony, he, being a PhD in criminal justice, also knows that. But again, we don't know that they didn't find that because we don't know where she's getting this information. Based on the affidavit, of course they haven't found that. They haven't searched his car yet when they get that signed. We'll give her another
circumstantial evidence of consciousness of guilt. So I would expect that the state would be raising that if that's the case. And then the last thing that often comes up in situations like these is you can literally actually see like white marks. Okay. When somebody is in there with, again, the wet rag and, just kind of smearing stuff around, no matter how hard you try to like dry it up and polish it and stuff, chances are pretty good that you're not going to get all of the grime and everything out of a 8-year-old car that has like sifted through the carpet for all that time and stuff like that. You're not going to get it pristine. And so what's left is going to show marks from having wiped something over it, little smears and stuff like that. It's very common to find. That would, again, be an explanation for why there is no DNA evidence found in the car. But apparently that doesn't exist based on this representation that we're getting in this sentence here. Another objection I expect to see, oh, this is just the defense's version of things.
That's what I said.
You know, everybody lies except the FBI defense. Well, I don't buy this.
Not everybody lies except for the FBI. Everybody sees things through their lens, and if they have bias, that's how they're going to explain it to you.
A lot of reasons. Now, certainly when you're a defense lawyer, you are going to present the facts in the way that is beneficial to your client, beneficial to your position. So you kind of expect there to be.
Nova, did you hear what she told you? How they know that the car wasn't clean? It's because it's 8 years old. There would be clean streaks. That's I feel.
No, she's
Just tell
saying
us
that
how you
since
feel.
the state's not bringing up that Bryan tried to cover up evidence, he's not being charged with destruction of evidence, right?
No.
So therefore, he didn't destroy evidence, because if they had evidence of him trying to destroy evidence, they would have charged him with it.
That's your new theory?
That's the theory.
That is the theory. So
They charge people with everything under the sun, right?
Have they gone to
everything
trial
under the
yet?
sun, trespassing, fucking drinking, everything, right? But they didn't charge him with destruction of evidence at all.
Which
if you're the state, you should have, because that would prove guilty mind. Is the state just that dumb?
I don't know. All I'm saying is that when they arrested him, they didn't have the car to search yet. They're not in trial yet. We know that because they can't get through the paperwork. And so we don't know if they're going to say, we think he cleaned his car. These are guesses.
It would have been in the charges.
When they charged him, when they picked him up, they didn't have his car
Today.
yet.
It would be on
They
the
could
case.
have amended the
He would be
charges
charged
if they
with
thought
destroying
that
evidence.
was going to be. It's a death penalty case with these four. They don't really. That burglary is in there, so there's that aspect of.
Yes.
But that doesn't. It could be that like that. I don't know. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how that works. You might be right, and that there was nothing there. But the fact is that that's a guess from you, from me, and from Andrea, based on what the lawyer has said. And the lawyer has said 11 times now, as of like January of this year. I'm pretty sure she's requested 11 times to have this evidence given to her because she doesn't believe she has it. So she either doesn't believe it exists or she doesn't believe she has it. What is it? It either isn't in the car and she's asking for a nothing, or she knows it exists and she needs to see it. They can't both be true.
We'll find out.
Maybe. Okay.
Bum, bum, bum. I don't think she says anything else to support me, so.
So she can we're done with her. Okay. That's for her. I don't know. Let me see. I don't think there's much else here. Consistent. Basically, they're showing. That's all I really wanted to show is that they tell us two things. They tell us when he left, he went from here to here. It's really quick, 10-minute drive. Boom, boom, boom. He took this road that connects, and then they tell us he went this way. Oh, you know what? We're not done because they're going to say one more thing. The next day, he also goes to Moscow. The next morning, he's there for half an hour or something, maybe getting coffee. I don't know. This is what they say is his route. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. And it says, based on his training, he thinks he turned the phone off, but something else happens.
So the next day, he shouldn't be worried about his data. Wouldn't he just take the straightest, easiest way to drive around? Like, we'd be trying to like take the alternate routes or something the next day.
Right. What if he did?
He'd have no reason to. Be a waste of gas.
This is the next day. He does go down that way, for the record.
What for?
Albertsons.
Oh, he went somewhere different. No, I meant like to go that long way around to go back to Moscow.
This is the long way. Okay, true. He goes to Moscow that way, but he does go down this way, which he allegedly took. So in the morning, he goes to Moscow through that top area here. And then he goes back 9:30. And then at 12, he comes down here and goes to Lewistown. So he goes that way and then goes back and then leaves again. So, and he gets coffee, he goes to a coffee shop and he goes to Albertsons. He spends about 30 minutes in Albertsons. He leaves at 1:05 and heads home, gets back home.
It's a long way to go for coffee.
Yeah, with what they're going to say here. Well, and it's a long way to go to the grocery store. But if you're trying to avoid the town, it might be a great idea. Allegedly.
Maybe it was a Tinder date for coffee.
Yeah, right. It doesn't. Okay, I don't know, but it says something here. I want to read it. On December 23rd, I received records from AT&T from where the phone was from June until the murders. It says the records show the phone in and around the area 12 times, all except one in the late evening and early morning hours. One of the occasions was on August 21st. The phone used resource providing coverage to the Kings Road residents, approximately 10:34 to 11:35, so maybe dinner. He was stopped by a sheriff, verifying that they told us about that earlier. It says they are on Farm Road and Pullman Highway. Farm Road and Pullman Highway is up here. This is Pullman Road. It's probably also called Pullman Highway. Where the hell is Farm Road? Here's Farm Road. Can I mark this?
Best Western guaranteed. There's a camera on that. The Wendy's.
My point is right here. By this, we'll just say it's that Best Western, right? Right here, between Pullman and Moscow, they're saying is the vicinity of the home. We know the home is over here somewhere. Either way, if this is the vicinity of the home, so is everywhere. So
Yes.
he's arrested here, and they're calling this that. So I have a hard time saying he's a stalker when he was just in the
city.
area.
Yeah,
in the city. Oh, here's Steiner Avenue. So he came off Steiner Avenue, crosses over. This is exactly where the house is. You see how far that is?
Yep.
From here to there?
It's not even.
This is the area. There's only 3 towers. If you watch Andrea, she did explain how that works and how, or two towers. I don't think they can triangulate. So, which also makes sense. While when he's down here, he gets no service because if anything, they're being utilized in these areas and not down there in the woods. Right. But hold on. But yeah, there's more. So that's that. That's the area of Kings Road, which is the area of the whole city. Further analysis of the data. November 13th, traveling to Pullman to Lewistown. So this is the next day when he goes down in the map I showed you, Kate's coffee shop. Albertsons, he leaves Albertsons at 1:04. Possible path he drove.
Possible path or the path?
Possible path. It says additional analysis of the phone indicate that between 5:32 and 5:36, the phone utilized its cellular resources covering Johnson, Idaho. That's on the way up. Share this again. On your way up, see Johnson here? The direct opposite of where Blaine is. He's down here doing his grocery shopping. He's on his way now up to Johnson, the same place that he was the day before, a little bit further over. And what happens? The phone then stops reporting to the network from approximately 5:36 to 8:30 p.m. This is consistent with the phone being in that area, traveled in the hours immediately following the homicide. So 2 things are happening here. His phone's naturally losing data, and they're showing it to us again that it naturally lost data in the same area. And they're telling us that when they told us he went through that back road and left the city and took Sand Street across, basically taking 270 the long way through the interstate, is false. He went down through Genesee or whatever the hell it's called, across to Uniontown and up. According to the data they also showed us.
This is going to be such a messy trial.
It just makes no sense. Like, this is his arrest affidavit, and it doesn't add up.
That's why they were trying to get it thrown out. We shouldn't even have a trial, the defense is saying.
It literally says the phone stops reporting for 2 hours, the same amount of time it stops reporting before, when they tell us that's because he was doing a murder. You're like, or was he fucking driving like he told you he was? And then you tell me when his phone turns back on, he's in this area, Blaine?
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, his phone turns off. On Tuesdays, he's murdering.
Christ. Yeah. And or when I made the video, in my other video that I still have to post, and I read this the first time, I was like, wait a minute, he was doing more murders, because every time his phone's off, he's murdering, right?
Did you go in to see all the deaths in the area?
So that's it. That's what I thought was fucking wild. I'm like, wait a minute. If this is his path on page 16,
you got to get your shit
and
together.
how the fuck is his path on page, let's see, it changes 9. 7 pages later, he has a whole ass new path.
In the same document.
Depiction showing White Elantra's path of travel. It says that the roads lead to Johnson Street west back to Palos Drive in Moscow. They're saying that he took that, and then they're saying he went down to fucking Uniontown, which we'll call Oniontown for my benefit. And what?
I wonder if like it was the Moscow police did the first half, and then the FBI jumped in and took over, and then they did the rest of it, maybe. And they're too stupid to fucking. This is not
2.5 hours to get to this. Yeah, I don't think 5 terabytes of data. That's why they gave her 5 terabytes of data, so she wouldn't think.
Trying to drown her, right?
To think. Yeah.
There's no amount of data.
Get past this. Get past the fact that you don't know who was when and where, and all you know is that he was where he said he was, in an area with no service, and all you can really see is that.
I know what all the data is. It's all the crime scene photos in 4K. Big files.
Texas Willie said they need to check every inch of that route for the murder weapon. I thought the same thing, because look, we're just going to say that it is him, and they just don't know how to write a report.
That'd be a good question. Did you drive both of these routes? No, we only drove one.
Right? So, what if he did come around here, toss out a weapon?
If you're going to toss it,
when he came back the next day, he comes back, turns his phone off again, so he's not tracked to pinpoint exactly where the weapon was.
If you're smart enough to turn your phone off, you're smart enough not to even bring it on the drive with you for one day. You leave it at home with your video game on, so it looks like you're playing Minecraft all day, right? You're not.
But is he smart enough to say, okay, my phone was off for these 2 hours. I have to also make it be off in another 2 hours. I'm going to go for another drive the next day. It will also shut off for 2 hours, so they can say he's not smart enough for that?
If I win the lottery, I'd want to go down and watch this trial, because I think it's going to be a gong show in court.
What's that mean?
A gong show means a clusterfuck.
Oh, no. I hope not. Because, if he's the murderer, then the families deserve to not have to deal with that for several months.
If he's the murderer, right.
And if he's not the murderer, then they deserve to move on, find who it is, and he deserves to not be in jail. So it's a lot.
I bet you if Bryan's found not guilty, he has to change his name, move, and they never investigate or look for another person ever again.
Oh, no. Change his name? He's got Bryan Kohberger's face. He's fucked forever.
No, he can shave. He can shave his eyebrows down.
No.
Shady his hair.
You can't fix that. You can't fix that.
You'd be surprised.
I'd be shocked.
Look at Simon Cowell after fucking a little.
He needs to trans. He needs to become a woman. I don't believe he has no chance. They need to check him. Libtard's having coffee. I need to get some more coffee. It's about lunchtime though, so I think we're done here now. But is there anything you want to do? Are you happy with this? Do you feel like?
Yeah, no, it's big questions. I wish I could watch the trial live. It's
right. So the first time we saw the affidavit, we didn't really even know the kids' names or how to say the town names, and now we know all of that, and we can look at other things. And even this time, this time
behavioral patterns.
Oh, I ended up going
when
back.
The neighbors go to work,
trying to figure out, since we don't have a lot to see. I'm like, well, what kind of map can we make? What
if we talk about this story, this case to normies? They're like, you guys don't know nothing.
We don't. They're right. We don't know anything, but we probably know more. We probably know more than the guy on the news who's telling you.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we have to search for this stuff ourselves to find out what.
I think we both flip-flopped too. I think I flip-flopped a lot, twice in the very beginning, and now he's innocent.
I've heard a lot. Okay, hold on, really quick before we leave. I want to read.
How guilty will I feel if he's actually the killer, and I keep saying he's innocent the whole time?
Well, the only way you'll know is if he confesses, because he's
before we go.
Yes.
Do you remember me mentioning something about Nick Rekieta being a swinger with the steel toe couple?
Yes.
Did you see Alyssa Clips this morning?
Negative.
Oh my God, we're gonna see it live, chat. Watch this face. Watch.
I
I
don't
know, but it's gonna be worth it, chat.
All right, I do believe you. So let me close down some of this stuff.
I don't get excited for much, but for the prosperity, I said that Nick Ricada was swinging with this couple
gross.
before this video came out. Before this video came out.
Okay, hold on. Let me share this before we get weird. This, oh, you can't see it. It's so hard to see.
Yeah, I can see.
I make it?
Oh, I can see.
You can?
Yeah, it was good.
Let me hold on. Here we go.
Oh.
No, it'll come back.
No, I can read it.
You can read this?
Yeah.
Okay, it says the DNA story that BK's DNA matched the DNA on the knife sheath is a fake. When I say the story is a fake, I mean that the reader deceives themselves. This is how propaganda works. I know exactly what happened in the BK case. The figures used below as an illustration are 27 markers with an allele frequency each of 10%. If you randomly select a few markers from the knife sheath DNA, there are millions of markers in anyone's DNA. We don't know how many there were in the knife sheath fragments. And you do a comparison test with buccal swab DNA from BK, it will not be an accident if you get a perfect match. The odds of such a match by chance are low. If the allele frequency of each of the 27 markers is 0.1 or 10%, then the chances of the match are 1 in a billion, billion, billion. It is not an accident. Either A, it was BK's DNA on the knife sheath, or B, the markers were not chosen randomly. The probability calculation is nonsense. The markers were chosen to frame BK. If BK was framed in the DNA comparison test, this is because the markers were pre-selected because it was already known they were in BK's DNA. The number of different collections of 27 markers can be drawn from a pool of only 300 markers. Wait, the number of different collections of 27 markers you can draw from a pool of only 300 is 2 times 10 to the 38th power. This is 100 billion times bigger than the octillion billion number that was quoted by the mainstream media many months as the probability that it was BK's DNA on the sheath. It should not be surprising that in the collection of 2 times 10 to the 38th power items, each item being a list of markers selected for the comparison test, you could most likely frame anybody in the world by finding a different list of markers, again, drawn from the same pool of 300 markers. Crazy. I don't know if this is true or false or what, but I read this. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll break this down a little bit. So fingerprints, when they do fingerprints, they have so many markers, same thing. And you can get a partial print, which is like 3 markers, or you can get a full print, which is like 8. And they'll arrest people on 2 markers or 3 markers, right? Just everybody could have 3 markers linked together. It's crazy that they lower the bar just to get their.
Yeah. So if you can read this, I hope you keep reading it. But it says if you find 27 markers and each of them only occurs in 10% of the world's population, the chances that all 27 will match a random person is very low. It is 1 in 1 billion, billion, billion. However, what happened in the BK case is different. The 27 markers were handpicked from a pool of 300 markers from the knife sheath, specifically because they were pre-checked to be in BK's DNA. No, the fucking light bulb just came on for me. Now I understand what they're trying to figure out. They're like, what did you know first?
Right.
Did you
That's
look at his dad's DNA?
Engineered it.
Yeah.
They found who they wanted,
and
they
not
because
they had Bryan's DNA, but because they had the dad's DNA. And then whatever they found on the sheath, they could say, okay, it's like saying we're related to monkeys by DNA. You're like, yeah,
or
if you take all the shit that shows that we're not
I'm
related.
a European or you're an African, right? We all share those 27 over the 300.
What the hell? You brought me back to the computer for this shit? I mean, no, I don't think we did. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, shit. You did. We were going to show some fucking Nick Ricada stuff. Did you give me a link?
Yes.
I'll just
go to Alyssa Clips. It's her newest one. Came out this morning. I was giggling.
No.
I fucking knew it. I called it. I don't know how long ago I called it. Probably when we did our show and I said that they're a couple of fags.
Oh, God. Rip.
Why
the following announcement has been paid for by the Council of
So sorry. Let me just get some volume control. This is not an ad. Okay.
No, Nick's not a swinger. No one's a swinger. Remember, that's all fake. That's all made up. That's Kiwi Farms lies. Keep that in your mind.
Got it. This is 10 minutes. You'll never get back. Should I speed it up?
Just go.
No.
Kiwi farmers for a better tomorrow.
Is this really loud?
Nope, you're good.
Chat, is this really loud?
I don't think so.
Should have told them before.
All right.
Let's see.
And we're live.
Hello.
Oh my God.
What's that?
Hello, everybody.
It says
That
zero
Does Nick look
viewers.
high?
Because
I don't have it
we
yet.
screwed up the first one.
He's not allowed to be in a hot tub.
He's a
By the
heat
way,
allergy,
you're gonna
yeah.
die for
His
this.
side of the hot tub is cold water. Fuck off.
Oh. Okay, I'm an idiot.
And now we're on
No,
this
there's
one.
a person there.
And now there's people.
Wait, this is the guy who can't get her an orgasm, right?
Right.
Mm,
So he brought her to Nick's wife, so Nick's wife can give her an orgasm, and Nick and him can sword fight.
Oh, gross.
We are here with Vito and his lovely.
His wife took
Oh, the pedophile jokes are coming
I
out.
know. I've got a compliment for Nick here. Phantom X says, "Whoa, Nick looking buff. Is it the angle or has he been hitting the gym?"
Ah.
I have actually.
He looks like a
Twice
Jim is
now.
tired.
HIV patient.
Jim is probably tired of you.
Oh, that's true. But
Pinks everywhere. I guess we're swinging tonight. Maybe I put it on the table. They've rejected me.
look, guys. Here's the deal. There's no swinging tonight unless Nick and I get drunk enough and we decide our lips look too tasty.
It's just them.
Aaron's
We're
butthole
going
is
squat.
You're not gay. Drunk enough doesn't exist.
You notice we ladies are on the inside. It's to keep these boys off
The
each other.
sexual
They're
tension.
just
They can't help themselves.
We pretend that the heads of our penises are magnets with the same charge, and we just go.
Guys, I lost my voice, and you know how.
it gets very
From deep throating.
uncomfortable.
Does
Yeah.
cum do that?
No,
Yeah.
driving
Deep throat in
and
the dick.
drinking. Good advice. I don't know what the lawyer would say about that, but
This is so boring. If this is just them
That's
talking
it.
about
That's it. You can stop. You can stop. I just wanted for the record that I called this long before this hot tub stream.
you called them in a hot tub together. They're
I
not
called
even.
them swinging together. These two
Where the
couples
fuck is the
swing
swinging?
Together.
The only thing this
You can
proves is
watch
that
the
Nick
whole
is a
thing.
bullshit artist and doesn't have a heat allergy. You bullshit all the way around. I don't give a fuck. Oh my god.
You don't have to
that
watch it.
tattoo.
I giggle. I was right. Swingers confirmed. That's all they talk about for the rest of it is just how they're going to have sex with each other.
Because
and-
they're stupid boomers. They think it's interesting. Lady Rackets probably doesn't understand that she doesn't want to confirm.
why
any
is
of this
Lady
stuff.
Rackets looking at her like she wants to eat her? And he's looking at Nick like,
She's
I'll
super
watch.
cute. Well, I don't know about all that, but I don't know. This is
Gay
weird.
confirmed.
Y'all watch some dumb shit. I can't believe it. Is this even going to be clipped or is it just 10 minutes of it?
That's just them doing the gay swinger. No, we'll talk about it. Don't you
You
worry.
should be ashamed of yourself.
Josh will cover it on the farms.
God, I hope not. Please don't. Unless there's something new to talk about. The fact that they are in the hot tub together doesn't mean anything.
They're talking about swinging.
They're making jokes about it because it's happening in chat and she's reading chat.
That's the pretending to joke about it.
They
If
probably
we get
want
drunk
to.
enough, we'll have sex, Nick. If we get drunk enough, aka go get me another beer,
She's
Nick.
probably she's like, I got to grift off of this. We want to get views. I want to,
No.
like,
Man, he can't make her come. They're not going to get views from Nick showing up.
I fucking X'd it out. Look what we're doing right now. Watching a shit clip of 10 fucking minutes of these assholes because we're like, yes, they must have fucked after this. Y'all need to start doing more fucking and you wouldn't have to worry about what these guys were doing. I swear, have sex.
I
Have
do
sex. And
plenty of
then when you
fucking,
see
and
this,
it's
you're
still
gonna be like,
amusing to me.
yeah, okay, this isn't, but joking about an internet joke is not the same thing as swinging. This is no proof. There's not a receipt in the building.
Okay.
Just your hope. Just your hope, and you're allowed to have that hope. I don't mean to kill it. I don't
We'll
want to
see.
kill
We'll
your
see
hope.
if the internet agrees with me or you. We'll see what the ratio is.
Okay, yeah. I hope the internet agrees with you, because then I know I'm not fucking retarded. The internet is retarded. They want that. I understand the want for like there to be the
The downfall, the
salaciousness.
train
And
wreck.
Nick does enough, right? Like she started the video with the Swinger Island and those things. So they're, there's not like they haven't
I
put enough
told you,
things
it's
to
Lady
talk
Rackets
about.
that's the pervert. It's Nick. Nick's being drug into her perversion. I called that a long time. She is the dirty one.
Yeah.
She's
Another one of your
unsatisfied, just
weird
like April is unsatisfied. So they're both trying to get satisfied by someone who can satisfy them, which isn't either one of their husbands.
Yeah, it's probably a woman because she know what a little man in a boat is. She heard of him before. All right, damn.
That's it.
So
That's
let's leave. Okay, Vicky, are you here? Are you glad that I stopped that? Are you going to go watch it on your own? Don't go watch that on your own, Vicky.
Go watch it. Support Alyssa Clips.
Oh, that's true. It is a limitless clip, but that encourages her to
That
do
wasn't
this
on Nick's stream
more.
either. That was on Steel Toe stream. Nick didn't stream that. The Steel Toe couple streamed it.
Do you guys understand how data works? They're going to go, oh my God, look at, we had 1 billion views for this. Let's get Nick on again. We'll make swinger jokes and the internet's going to be on fire. And you guys are going to have to sit through cringe content because you gave it your data and they think that they just want data. Data is what is the confirmation. So if y'all going to go watch
data
it,
and bad data. No, there's good. There's
no,
good
there's
and bad.
not. In the algorithm,
Nick's losing 1,000 subscribers a month for
that's
bad
true.
data.
That's bad data. That's
bad
that's
data.
that's a bad look. But subscribers are a vanity number. Views are what matters, and views are what's happening during this right here. Is a fucking view. It's a view when Eliza did it. It's now a view when we're doing it.
At the beginning? No, wait. Did you hear him at the beginning? They had 1 live viewer. The first 2 seconds of the hot tub, he said, "We have 1 live viewer."
You said this was on the Steel Toes channel. Why is Nick operating the live?
Nick's not. She's on her phone. She's reading chat through their stream.
So when it started, he didn't hit live and say we only have X amount of viewers?
I don't know now.
I don't either. I gotta mute it though.
You don't care. Stop going back on me.
Oh, he did it. That guy did it.
Yeah.
I think he just. Hey, I care about facts. Gay.
Do you see that little gay wave? That should be a gift.
He must have started it. She took a peek. Oh my God, I'm live. I gotta look cute. He's going, oh shit. I gotta pretend I have a heat allergy. How do I do it? And Lady Rockets is like, I love having friends. Oh my God, we're normal.
My tattoo disperses the heat from my body. Snakes are cold-blooded. That balances them out. He's got a snake tattoo.
Look at all that steam.
He wore a snakeskin shirt the other day.
Hot tub lie machine. Hot tub lie machine.
This is Nick getting ready for Twitch. Rumble's not going to re-sign him. He's moving to Twitch, so he's just going to be in the hot tub every day.
Okay, tell me, Vicky, are you happy that we did this? That's what she say. I got about 3 minutes into it before I couldn't take it.
See, look, we got a new one. Someone new just showed up.
Yo, yo, yo. New here, saying sup. Hope stream goes good today. Lurking while working.
Nice.
Hey, thanks for lurking while you're working.
Lurkers are always welcome.
Tits get clicks. Yeah, tits do get clicks, and I think that that's probably why she has a heat allergy too. All right. Anything else? We need to check out every inch. Oh yeah, we already read all that. Okay. Thanks for hanging out, chat. Libtarded Baggy, good to see you. Recon, thanks for hanging out. Unfortunately, we've been going for how long?
Almost 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours, and it's really there's only like 30 minutes worth of information. But we did look at all these maps. We understand now that the police had a very they had a spotty
lackadaisical.
There you go. Very lackadaisical evidence, but it worked because when you read it like we did the first several times and everybody did a year ago, it's hard to understand what they're saying. You just go,
until
wow,
you brought up the map,
says,
right? Mm-hmm. Until you have a visual of what you're reading, it changes your whole.
Right. The first times we read it, we needed to learn the names, and now we're learning the road names, and now it's just a little bit more intimate as we get into it without any information. Hey, thanks for the share. Haha. No Ricada Law. So Ricada Law moved to Twitch?
He's threatening to. He says he can make more money on Twitch because he only pulled in, I think, like $36 in super chats the other night in his snakeskin shirt.
Is that true?
Yes, I watched it.
$36 all night. And how many hours?
1.5. It wasn't long. He doesn't stream long anymore. He's
on the Rumble side?
I didn't watch Rumble, just YouTube.
So on YouTube side, he made $36.
And half of those 36 were people making fun of his snakeskin shirt.
Damn.
It's a train wreck. I love it. It's just
I don't. I
it's
need
my
to
little
have a.
train wreck.
I need to have a. I know. I want to fix it, but I don't know. He really need to find Jesus. Good luck, Mr. Ricada. Autistic internet crime investigator. Interesting stream. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my CIA whammon skills, and all I did was pull up a map.
Right. Pull up a map.
Yeah, I'm curious about so much more, but it's not until we see actual evidence. I don't. No offense to Andrea, I think she's great. If we do watch it, we will watch her. But her
I
guess
want to,
is
yeah.
as good as ours.
I want to see what she has to say every day when she comes out of court, just to,
yeah,
like
for
her
sure.
cliff notes.
While it's fresh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna read a book called The Deep Rig. Let me bring it up. Oh, there's no picture for it actually.
And it's not about oil, chat. So calm down.
It is not about oil. It's by Patrick Byrne. He is. He says he was not a Trump fan, but he does believe that there was rigging during the 2020 election. And since he was there firsthand, he wrote a little book about it. It is, I'll show it to you. I don't know if you can see this because I can't see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it? Okay. It says how election fraud cost Donald J. Trump the White House. Now, I don't care. I hate to say it like that, but I don't really care about all that. The president is the president is the president. I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, look. But when I was reading this, there were some stories down here at the bottom leading into J6 and just leading up to that date that I found just unbelievable and fascinating. And there are stories about General Flynn in here, how he was working with this, what did I call his name again? Patrick Byrne. Yeah. I just think there are really good stories. And because I haven't heard them anywhere else, I thought, well, then we'll tell those stories or we'll read them telling those stories. They can live on our channel. They'll be on the internet. And I don't want to say everything that everybody else has already said. So when I found this, I was like, no fucking way. And I'm sure somebody has read this. I know that other people have probably talked about this, but it is not out there knowledge. Right. And so
I haven't come across it yet. So
yeah, it shows. Do you remember this? You remember when overnight it jumped up?
Oh, the Michigan
Mr. Georgia runoff. Yeah. But anyway, so we're going to start this book tomorrow. It's PDF. It's 196 pages. In my experience, this is probably going to take, I don't know. I would say hopefully we can get it done in 2 weeks, but depending on how much we talk and how interesting it is, it could take.
Which sounds like a long time, but it's really only 2 shows or 3 shows.
Yeah. So we'll see. We will start this tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are interested in this. If it is the worst, then you just have to be really vocal in chat, because if it sucks, I don't want to read it to you. I can read this on my own time, and there are plenty of other books that we can do.
Sucks,
we can do
I
some
have
more.
tabs always loaded.
That's true. We could just react to internet things. Did you hear that they want to get rid of the militia or something like that?
No, I heard the opposite. They're trying to start the fucking draft in the UK again. Start World War.
Hold on, let me look this up. Militia. I think they put. They were talking about it this morning in Discord, but I got disconnected. Let me go to militia. And
I think all militias now are like Fed traps.
Or
do they want to send a militia to Texas?
I guess it's not here. U.S. troops killed by Iran back.
Yeah, I told you World War III's kicking off. See, America didn't even join the war against the Nazis until a couple of Americans got accidentally killed on a Canadian ship.
3 soldiers were killed yesterday.
Yeah. So you're going to be attacking Yemen again and Syria and.
Anyways, somebody was saying that there was a bill to make militias illegal, I think. Tell me about it in chat. Who's in chat? I'm sure they're going crazy. Militias are purely entrapment camps for feds. That's what I said. Okay, so you did? That's what he said. What I was saying is it's awful convenient that they put this out, because while people are minding their P's and Q's or whatever,
Do you know what a good
for
idea
the
would be?
Texas border situation because of what happened during the J6 situation. Now they're going all ham and posting about how you could never take my fucking and listing all their guns and shit. You're like, no,
Do you
they're
know what
distracting you.
a good thing would be? Was to start your own militia and make it a Fed trap. So you record all the Feds showing up and all their
Oh
faces.
my God, what a good
And
idea.
they start like you have your like secret table where you don't let
Do
anyone
it.
have their cell phones in there, so they talk liberally, like, yeah, we should storm the Capitol. And like, got your face, got you an HD. Oh, you're a Fed. And you can see it'd be nothing but Feds around the table.
Yes, do that.
That would be an
How
awesome
do you know when they're
visual
Feds?
piece.
How can you figure out when they're Feds?
They showed
How
up.
do you know?
Oh, it's easy.
Oh,
They all
because
wear
they
the same
showed up.
pants. They all wear the same pants.
They're in uniform. Okay. All right. We'll see you
You offer them
guys.
pot needles, and if they say no, you know they're Feds.
We're being replaced by immigrants intentionally. Great replacement theory.
Yeah, that's Canada.
Pedophiles. Great movie. That's when they're trying to replace. You know what? I'm glad that we said that because for the women, for the conservative women, we're the ones that are the ones having babies and the ones replacing, and not just that. I don't want to sound racist or whatever, but we're the ones that generally mate with white people. Well, white women select white men majority of the time. So stop blaming us for shit. We're doing our
Or
fucking
dogs.
best.
Or dogs.
Fuck out of here. That's Canada. The only people who don't know the Patriot Front group aren't Feds, are their damn dogs.
Yeah. I think that would be hilarious to start your own right-wing militia group and just let all the Feds show up, record all their faces, get them to sign the books, and they don't know they're Feds.
Yeah, but look what happened in the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping. They don't, or whatever her name is, Whitmer kidnapping.
10 of 12 were Feds.
Yeah, look what happened with the what's the dude Ray Epps. The Feds, like it doesn't even matter.
Which will be 1 month time served, good behavior. I want to see his pension. Show me the Ray Epps pension. Who's paying Ray Epps pension?
Feds are fags. Nova, you got an individual channel? Nova? He does. It's on YouTube and he puts dumb Mercatus shit up there. Please don't go.
I put some nature ones out once in a while.
No, he does have a channel. What's it called? At Nova Dexter?
I think so.
Just like it sounds. DEXT.
It's very not active though.
If you type the at Nova Dexter all one in the search, it'll show up, and I'm pretty sure it's your face in drinking something, right?
Yes, out of a championship mug. The same one in Rumble.
While you're wearing a skirt.
A kilt.
You had to say championship, so I had to tell about the rest of the picture. All right, guys.
All right,
we will see you tomorrow morning. Adios.
Peace.